family. And so that kind of like, that was a
are.
curveball. That was a curveball. And I had to text the guy that I said I'd play with. I'm like, I actually can't play. So I don't know how this works, but
Oh, you don't know how to feel right now.
is this grounds for divorce? I mean, you tell me. It's like legitimate question. Like, is this grounds for divorce? Like, how does that work in court? Is it like no fault, but like she's at fault for it? Like, I don't know how this works.
I guess it comes down to how it was said. If it was like, hey, please, like, can we do something else? You know, you got to give in. You got to give in for that because it's like, damn. You know, the puppy eyes.
It was like that.
Okay,
it was
if it was like, you know,
very much like that.
Like where you're saying, hey, I'm going to do something, or you feel like you have to ask.
Yes.
And your answer is no, like you're a little kid. Now you're like, all right, pump the brakes.
And that's the thing. It's like I typically don't ask. I'm just like, hey, just a heads up. I think I'm going to play golf on Sunday. It's like, are we all good? It's
good.
like, is there anything there? It's not like, hey, Ashley, can I play golf? Like, will you let me play golf? But I don't know. Maybe that's what I have to do now because I was told I can't play. So, yeah, I don't know how this is going to –
You know, I just think it's just a one-time thing. It's the first time, Zach, we got to think about it. It's the first time – I'm on your wife's side right now. It's going to be the first weekend where we're not really and truly watching so many sports, right? It's not like we're going to watch the Buffs game.
Yeah.
We're going to probably watch the
Avs
game.
on Saturday and Sunday, yep.
But other than that, usually on that Sunday –
that's why she's doing this.
It takes up the whole entire day. So I understand what she's probably feeling because that's how Morgan's feeling right now. That's what she's saying. She's getting all the game plan ready for Saturday and Sunday because we don't have a lot going on when it comes to watching TV or doing our job.
All right, well.
Just one time.
Let me know. RamosLaw.com text line. Should I speak to her ever again? or not? Just in case, send a divorce lawyer the number. Oh my gosh! No, it is all good. I am way too blessed to be stressed. We will have
a little stress right now.
That's just a little side. It just never happened before. So I'm like still in shock.
Nut punch.
Oh my gosh! She texted me. Are you mad about golf? I'm not even responding.
With the dot.
Yes.
Why no? I'm not.
Oh my gosh! But we are live from Mile High Station. It's a beautiful fall Thursday in the Centennial State, and I mean it's a big football game tonight. The world is going to be watching this one.
Yep.
Prime time. We talked about some of the streaks that are at play here. The Broncos have not beaten an AFC West team in prime time since week 1 of the 2017 season.
Crazy.
10 consecutive losses against divisional opponents in prime time. That streak has got to end here today.
Oh, it has to end. It will end. I mean, you're dealing with the Denver Broncos who know that everything's out in front of them. Who knows that they have a chance to go on a 7-game win streak? Who knows that they're playing here at home, Mile High? Like, you can't make this up. Like, everything that you want is out in front of you with your home crowd backing you, going to be going crazy today. So it's going to be a fun environment, and the Denver Broncos know they have to handle business tonight.
I feel a little bit nervous in a way that I had not felt leading up to today.
It's game day jitters. Sure are.
You know what? And it's this league is crazy. It's a psychotic league. That's why we love it.
Yeah.
Once you think you have this league figured out, it will humble you. And the Broncos are the biggest spread in football this week, okay? Biggest spread in football is tonight.
What is it?
9.
9.
They're a 9-point favorite. So they have to win by double digits to cover the spread. And the NFL isn't designed for teams to blow other teams out.
Yeah, especially on a Thursday night.
And Thursday nights can be wacky. And I'm not trying to be, like, fearful, like, for no reason, like picking up the option on fear. I'm just like, wait, the biggest spread in football last week was 13.5, almost 2 touchdowns, and I watched Carolina, who was looked at like a doormat, go into Green Bay and lead nearly wire to wire, control the game, and with the Raiders, look, I'll take the suspense out of it. I'm picking the Broncos to win. Okay, I'm picking the Broncos to win.
Shocker!
I'm not getting carried away, but this is an offense that has really given us pause so many weeks of the season. And that's a Raiders offense that I just watched their quarterback throw 4 touchdowns last week.
Yeah.
He's competent. And so
and a vet. And has done it before and has been in playoff games and has won. He's been with Pete Carroll. Like, you're not dealing with a rookie quarterback.
No.
Or a bad quarterback. He's a mediocre quarterback. We're talking about Geno Smith, that is.
Yeah.
But he's a guy that if you let him stay in a game, he will pick you apart.
Well, I'm here on a game day. I'm just like a little bit. I'm like, I don't think I'll be picking a blowout tonight. And hopefully it turns out to be that way. Because on paper, there's advantages up and down. But I watched that game last week. All right? I'm talking about Jacksonville Raiders game.
Yeah.
Big chunks of it anyway.
Overtime.
That's not a team that's looks like it's quitting on Pete Carroll yet anyway. So, I don't know. It's just a little bit of a different feeling here on a game day.
Yeah, I'm not going to say I'm nervous because even when I was playing, Zach, now when I was younger, I would get nervous. But as I got older, I just used to think of it as, hey, this is my job. It is what it is. I'm going to go out there. I'm confident. I'm ready to play. Knowledge equals confidence equals playing fast. So I was always ready because I knew the game plan. I knew what I needed to do, and I knew that I could do it at a high level. Now I'm not doing this anymore. I'm watching the games. We know how the NFL can be. We know that the NFL is a place where teams that aren't supposed to win. Any given Sunday, that's what they talk about it. Any given Thursday on this Thursday today, that's something that you have to watch out for. But I'm going to trust Sean Payton. I'm going to trust Bo Nix because the plays are there to be made. And, of course, I'm going to trust this damn defense to continue to stack these games where they're just dominating, and they know that they're going for that record, that sack record. Well, what better way to get to that sack record than going after Geno Smith today, who is not going to run around a lot. He wants to stay stationary and try to pick the Denver Broncos apart.
All right, man. I think the biggest advantage that we'll be looking at today is the Broncos' front seven against the offensive line of the Raiders. There's an opportunity to really have Geno in hell tonight at Mile High with 70,000 fans at their back. Just to be clear, and most of you guys know this, I'm completely kidding around, mostly. Because I have people say, hey, man, you should never use the divorce word. Like, I'm totally kidding. I feel entirely comfortable saying that on the air because there's nothing like that going on. So, but someone did say you should get rip-roaring drunk at home and teach her a lesson. Oh, my God. Man. You can't make it up, man. You can't make it up. All right, we are live from Mile High Station. We're going to be broadcasting here till really kind of walking you almost right up till kickoff, just a couple minutes shy of it. If you're anywhere in the area, we would love to see you. This place is going to have incredible energy, and we'd love to, we've already had some people come over, take a picture. Yeah, come over and take a picture. Come over and give a pound. Say hello in a commercial break. We will not bite. Okay, shifting gears here. What should we expect from this defense going up against Geno Smith and someone who I believe is the very best at their position in the entire NFL? We'll talk about that coming up next.
Will the Broncos avoid the trap game and earn their first divisional win of the season? Will Bo Nix and Evan Ingram finally get on the same page? We'll break it all down in the Fan Football Postgame Show, live on game day starting at the 2-minute warning. Denver Sports 104.3. The Fan.
What is going on, gentlemen? As you know, intimacy is a special moment when we feel deeply connected to the ones we love. Truly, fellas, there are a few experiences out there as wonderful as these. And I'm here to tell you that Rocky Mountain Men's Clinic is proud of the work they do in treating erectile dysfunction to restore intimacy for their patients. How many guys out there have a mediocre sex life? Is it just good enough? Or could it be really good? Nah, better yet, let's make it great. Maybe the pills and herbals are just working okay, but could they work better? At Rocky Mountain Men's Clinic, their treatments work when the pills and herbals fail you. They have treatments with success rates well over 90%. And some of these treatments can have you lasting an hour or even more if you want to go that long. All I need you to do is schedule a consult with Rocky Mountain Men's Clinic today. Your initial visit is only $99, which will include a medical consult with a Colorado licensed medical provider, AT, and PSA test, and if medically advised, a test dose. And gentlemen, if the test dose does not work in the office, the visit is free. They also have 5 locations out there to serve you, so there are no excuses. Go get treated. You could go to Fort Collins, North Denver, Central Denver, Castle Rock, and Colorado Springs. So give them a call today at 720-440-7900 or visit RockyMountainMen'sClinic.com. That's RockyMountainMen'sClinic.com.
So my mother is thinking of switching from Verizon to Pure Talk, but she's worried the deal sounds too good to be true. Michael, she said, how can those Pure Talk people offer me the same basic service as Verizon for so much less money? I said, Ma, go ask Google how much Verizon spends on advertising and promotions. A few seconds later, my mother said, oh my goodness, $12 billion a year? That must be a typo. I'll tell you what I told my mom. It's not a typo. Verizon spends $12 billion a year on advertising and promotions, and their customers are paying for it. Well, Pure Talk doesn't spend that kind of money on commercials. Trust me, I would know. That's why they can offer you and my mother unlimited talk, text, and plenty of data on a crazy fast 5G network for just $25 a month. And if you're a business owner, you could really save a fortune. Dial pound 250, say the words Mike Rowe, and you'll get an additional 50% off your first month. That's pound 250 Mike Rowe. Pure Talk. Everything you need and nothing you don't.
Football is here, and Fitness Gallery's fall football sale is your playbook for a winning home gym. Save up to 50% off on select premium equipment. Visit any of our 7 stores from Denver to Fort Collins and score big before the sale ends.
It's holiday season again, which is great, but also a time of great stress. Planning and paying for friends, family, bills, gifts, etc. can make what should be the best time of the year into the most stressful. At U.S. Mortgages, we want to help reduce stress and debts. Lock in our below-market 4.75 5-year fixed, 5.81 APO.
Wait, you have a 4.75% fixed rate for 5 years?
Yes, and it comes with our lowest rate for life program. If the market improves after you close, even as little as 0.5%, we can redo your loan with no lender fees and no appraisal fee. And there's no limit to the number of times you can use this. Lower your bills and stress, save money, and no payments until January of 26. Plus, access up to $15,000 in cash benefits just in time for the holidays. Call us now at 303-LOW-RATE. That's 303-LOW-RATE or online at usmloan.com.
All loans subject to approval and change. See website for complete details. License number 392126.
Whatever you're looking for when you head out into the wild, keep an open mind. Sometimes the real treasure is the journey itself. Sure enough, there's treasure out there. Sometimes it's something you didn't expect to find. And more often than not, it's as simple as the memories you make. Make some memories of your own with a new vehicle from Corwin Toyota. Family driven for over 100 years.
Join Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan in Modelo at Mile High Station on Thursday, November 6th from 4 to 6:15 p.m. for the Fan Football Pregame Show. Get your head in the game with orange and blue face painting and ice cold Modelo. Modelo, brewed for full-time fans.
Tune into Stokely and Evans with Mark Schlereth, Wednesdays at 9:15 to hear ESPN NFL analyst Dan Orlovsky break down Bo Nix and the Broncos every week during football season. Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan, DenverSports.com, and the Denver Sports app. Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan presents The Drive with Zach By and Phillip Lindsay.
Off and rolling here on a game day, Thursday, November 6th at Mile High Station. We could reach out and touch Mile High itself.
What time is it? Game time.
As the Raiders are coming into town. What up, Phil?
What's going on, man? Are you still looking for a lawyer?
Man, you want to know what, man? Dude, our listeners are the best. They really are. And I'm not going to be able to get back to everyone because there's just too many messages on the RamosLaw.com text line. But the amount of feedback that came in, because I said my wife told me I couldn't golf this Sunday, and she's never said that before.
Are they lecturing you?
Some are. So some are just being hilarious. Just know that I'm kidding, and I'm so appreciative. But you guys are the best. And like the response from that conversation is hilarious, man. And you know, I just in general, and I know I think I just said this yesterday, but on a day like today, especially, I'm thankful that, truly, if I'm being honest, and you know this is real, and just to be personal for a second,
yeah.
like,
I have to remind myself sometimes that I worked a decade of my life to get here, to this moment here, and this job, and sitting here with you. So here on a Thursday, on a game day, I'm right next to the Denver Broncos stadium. I'm doing a pregame show with a guy that I literally covered. Like I used to
doing
do
your
this job.
dream job.
And it is my dream job. And a city like Denver has turned into a dream home. And so then I'm reading all these listeners who they know me. You know what I mean? And I feel like I know you guys. And it's just been the greatest joy and pride of my adult life, not relating to my family, to be here behind this microphone today.
Thanksgiving must be in the air because a lot of people should be thankful for what's just going on. And I know it's hard out there. And we don't know what people are dealing with.
Yep.
I mean, as you know, something just happened with the Dallas Cowboys and the passing of a player. And I didn't know him. He was a younger player, 24 years old, Zach.
Yeah.
And gone too soon. I don't know the details, and maybe you know more than I do.
Well, I'm sorry. Keep going.
No. But I'll say this: as human beings, we complain a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Even those players that you're seeing on that football field, you'd be surprised how much they complain in those locker rooms just about going to practice.
Yep.
I was one of them. You get to the facility, you're starting to get your clothes on, the pads on, and you're sitting there moping around, feeling sorry for yourself, and you have to tell yourself, dude, you're playing a kid's game.
Right.
You get to go to practice. You're not having to go out there and work a 9 to 5 and do some of the harder things that a lot of our fans are doing.
Totally.
So go out there and enjoy this and be grateful, be happy. Because at some point, that's going to be taken from you, which it will be for a lot of those players out there, no matter if they play for 12 years
all of them,
or 2 years.
Yep.
And you're going to look back at it saying, damn, I wish I had one more time.
Yeah.
One more time to be out there without complaining. But that's human nature to go out there and complain and tend to forget why we're thankful and grateful for what we've been given.
Yeah, and I'm thankful that I get to do this job. I mean, really, there's no, expiration date because of my physical prowess declines. I'll be able to do this job for a few more decades if I want to.
Maybe your voice is going to start.
But I could only imagine.
Down.
Well, I mean, something like that could happen, and has happened to a sports talk show host. You know, most notably in Boston about 2 years ago. Guy lost his voice.
Wow.
And couldn't speak for months and months, and couldn't do a show. I mean, it's just. But if this got taken,
joking, by the way, I didn't know.
No, I know.
I was like, I didn't know it was a thing.
But if this got taken away from me, the way that the game of football gets taken away from the players, could I just get one more show?
Yes.
You know, so we appreciate you guys, and then the Marshawn Nealon, story out of Dallas, this defensive end who is 24 years old and was just making massive plays. In a football game 96 hours ago. And he gets involved with, the police department and for a traffic violation, and ends up, running away from the scene and killing himself. What? It's so. You just never know.
Yeah.
You just never know. This guy just experienced his sports high of his life
Thursday night. Or is it Monday night? Monday night.
Yeah, Monday night. And then literally hours later, he's taking his own life at 24 years old. It's inexplicable. And I would never try to explain it, but to your point at the top, you just never ever know what someone is going through.
Yes.
So
check up on your loved ones. Check up on somebody if they're just walking by themselves. It's okay to sit here and tell somebody, hey, are you doing okay?
Yeah.
It's simple as that, man. And, with the Dallas Cowboys, they've had a lot of bad luck when it has come to just passings of people, whether it's a head strength coach that passed away for Dallas.
Yep.
And actually one of my teammates that and I know really well, and I won't say his name, and it was heartbreaking, and it's hard for me to even talk about it, but it was one game and he was doing well. In the middle of the game, my man gets a call that his brother took his life in the middle of the game. He rushed back home, and of course it was done, but you just don't know what people are going through. So just ask somebody how they're doing and tell them that you love them.
Yeah, and you want to know something crazy, man? I after I put my kids down, we're so busy at home, and it's always from one thing to the next.
Everything is always going.
From work, and then dinner, and we have basketball practice, and
bath
time, and pajamas, and we even got other nighttime stuff with my kids for their feet that is a little bit different. And this past, this was not last night, but the night before, I got the kids down, and I called my mom. And normally when I talk to my mom, it's on FaceTime, and we're talking with the kids, and da-da-da-da. And I said, hey, I'm checking in on you. And, dude, she almost started crying on the phone, and she said, I can't tell you the last time that someone called and just checked on me. Which didn't make me feel good.
Yeah.
But, you know, we talk all the time, but it's always it's not like, hey, Mom, like, what's going on with you? The kids aren't around, my wife's not around, like, you know? And she said, I can't remember the last time someone just called to check on me. It's like, damn. Like,
yeah. That's deep.
It is. So I'll definitely be doing that more often. I felt bad when she said that. But, all right, we have a football game here today. What is your game day vibe here?
You know, I feel good. I feel like this team is going to be locked in, laser focused, because they have a chance to do something special. Win 7 games in a row, like I said earlier. Go 8-2.
Yeah.
Something that hasn't been done here in a very long time. Continue to if you're a player that's doing well like J.K. Dobbins, continuing to rack up yards to try to get to the ultimate goal for him, my guessing is 1,000 yards and win a bunch of games. So I feel good about this game. I feel good about the Denver Broncos and what they're going to do. The game plan is going to be basic because they haven't had a long time to get ready for this game. So it's going to be a lot of the plays that you probably saw last week, because the defenses are similar when it comes to the 4-2-5 defense. And what we've seen a little bit during camp, where it's just going to be vanilla, hand the ball off, a couple play actions, and these players can just fly around and play confident because they know what they can do. They know the plays like the back of their hand. So I'm feeling good about this game, Zach.
Brock Bowers. I believe Brock Bowers is the single best tight end in football. And there's a lot of good ones. But for me, and his numbers, his total numbers don't reflect it because he's missed some time with injury. But Brock Bowers is the number one tight end in receiving yards per game. If you just break it down per game, and again, the totals won't match up because he missed that time. But, I mean, number one in yards per game. He's coming off a game, Phil, where he went for 127 yards and 3 touchdowns. Like, the guy is an absolute animal. And, I mean, obviously, I think he was like the 13th overall pick in the draft out of a blue blood school,
yep.
So it shouldn't be shocking. But, man, when I watch him, I'm just like, this guy is the best at what he does in all of pro football.
Sometimes you're like, man, this man is not human. As big as he is, as fast as he is, he can catch any type of ball you throw his way. He can run any type of route. He can block. He can do everything at a high level, and he's so young. That's the thing with me, and you've said it so many times throughout the times that we've been together, Zach, is the tight end position is a slow starting position.
It is.
Not for Brock Bowers. And so for the Denver Broncos, they're going to have to keep an eye on him. They're going to have to mix up their defense. Who's going to guard him? Is it going to be Dre Greenlaw? Is it going to be Jahdae Barron?
No.
Exactly. You know, but if they go zone, then nobody's guarding him, but they're going to have to keep a close eye on him. Maybe they go zone man where they're just manning the only guy that they know can make them pay. So it's going to be interesting to see what VJ, Coach Vance Joseph, and this defense can do to kind of neutralize someone like Brock Bowers.
Yeah, he is special. I mean, like, the guy showed up in the NFL and broke the single-season rookie yards mark and receptions mark, and it wasn't close. Like, records that have stood for a very long time just showed up like, give me this record, give me that record, right out of the gate. And coming off a hat trick of a touchdown game, which is almost impossible to do, especially if you're a pass catcher. You just can't give it to someone at a goal line.
Yeah, you got to go make your plays.
He is special, and this is really where the Broncos are going to miss Pat Surtain. They're really going to miss Pat Surtain tonight, hopefully not to the degree that it cost the Denver Broncos. Okay, there's been one player developing in real time on offense, but not necessarily in the way we may have thought. That's next.
This Veterans Day, Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan needs your help as we look to give back to those who have served their country. Teaming up with Foundation Cadillac, Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan is giving away 1 year of free oil changes to one of our state's many veterans. To nominate a current or former service member, head to denversports.com/veteran. That's denversports.com/veteran. To all our nation's veterans, we at Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan thank you for your service. Denver Sports 104.3. The Fan.
What's going on, everybody? Phillip Lindsay here with the one and only Williams Jewelers. And guys, I know there's at least 50 of you guys listening right now who are thinking about popping the question. And I know you need a diamond. And I'm going to save you time and money right now by telling you this. You need to go see my jeweler, Williams Jewelers, for that perfect diamond engagement ring, the ultimate holiday gift, or just because that special someone deserves it. This holiday, imagine the finest jewelry legends all in one store together, treating you just like family, and their service is going to reflect that. So come shop the finest loose diamonds in Denver. They have every size, shape, and price range you can imagine, and the largest selection of engagement ring settings I've ever set eyes on. And not only are they going to share the secret to the business with you, they're going to give you the best price in Colorado, guaranteed. So why wouldn't you want to create moments and memories by going to Williams Jewelers, the official jeweler of the Colorado Avalanche, Denver's first family of fine jewelers, located in Tree Creek North on 3rd Avenue, and also in Inglewood at Broadway and Bellevue. And don't forget to mention my name, Phillip Lindsay, when you walk through one of those doors.
This is the story of the one. As a custodial supervisor at a high school, he knows that during cold and flu season, germs spread fast. It's why he partners with Grainger to stay fully stocked on the products and supplies he needs, from tissues to disinfectants to floor scrubbers. All so that he can help students, staff, and teachers stay healthy and focused. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Whoa, it's you, the Capital One Bank guy.
That's what they call me.
Mind if I get a selfie?
Yeah, sure thing. Say no fees or minimums on your Capital One checking account.
Wow, that's a keeper. So, where are you heading?
I'm off to spread the good news that Capital One helps people keep more money in their wallet with no overdraft fees.
Oh, you're the best Capital One Bank guy.
Hey, mind if I get a selfie?
Sure.
Say, Capital One, what's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com/bank for details. Capital One NA, member FDIC.
Brandon Stokely here from my team, ROX, Rocks Heating and Air. Are you ready for winter? Worries you might need a new furnace? Don't know where to begin? Rocks Heating and Air makes it incredibly easy with their new, free, no obligation online heating and cooling quote. It takes less than 5 minutes and gives you options instantly. No calls, no waiting, and transparent pricing. Only at ROX, Rocks Heating and Air. Now play that jingle.
HVAC service, installation, repair. ROX rocks heating and air.
You could save thousands of dollars on the products your business uses the most with the Home Depot's new Pro Extra Preferred Pricing. Registering is free and easy. Just have your tax ID or business or contractor's license ready. But don't wait. The current preferred pricing benefit will end on November 15th. Visit your local Pro Desk to register now and unlock the deepest savings on the products you choose.
Hey, what's up, guys? It's Zach here. The holidays will be here before you know it, and for many families, that means excitement, but also stress. Between gifts, travel, and higher prices, it's easy to feel overwhelmed, especially if you're already relying on credit cards to cover the basics. If that debt is piling up, you're not alone. If you're a homeowner, you might have considered reaching out to my friends at American Financing, but hesitated because you don't want to give up your low mortgage rate. That's why American Financing created the Smart Equity Loan, a simple, smart way to get your finances back on track without giving up your low mortgage rate. Unlike a HELOC, which can fluctuate with the market, the Smart Equity Loan offers a fixed rate, so you'll have one predictable monthly payment. It lets you use your home's equity to pay off high-interest debt, free up cash flow, and still keep your existing mortgage intact. There are no upfront fees to find out if you qualify. Call American Financing at 303-695-7000 or visit them online at americanfinancing.net. NMLS 182334, NMLSconsumeraccess.org.
Imagine finding your dream home and moving in right away. No waiting to sell your old place first. Sounds perfect, right? That's exactly what Orchard's Move First, Sell Later program lets you do. Buy your new home now and sell the old one later. Here's how it works. Orchard gives you cash so you can buy and move into your new home first, on your timeline. No waiting, no showings, no double moves. Then the Orchard experts take it from there. They handle repairs on your old home for you so you attract the right buyers. Once they're done, a local Orchard agent lists and sells your home for top dollar. Orchard's Move First program gives you the freedom to buy and move into your new home first and sell your old home later. Buy before you sell and get top dollar for your home with Orchard. Ready to find out how much your home is worth? Visit Orchard.com to get your free home valuation. That's Orchard.com.
Macy's Backstage is a whole department inside your Macy's store where you'll find everything you need for the holidays, all for under $35. Don't wait. Find a location at Macy'sBackstage.com.
You're listening to The Drive with Zach By and Phillip Lindsay on Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan.
All right, it's a Thursday night football game day edition of The Drive as we are live here from Mile High Station, right next to Empower Field at Mile High. And we're going to be here until about 6 o'clock. I've already seen some great listeners, man, some really nice comments. And I have just been conditioned here in the recent years, I'm being serious, to keep Sharpies in my bag. Keep different colored Sharpies in my bag because the amount of Phillip Lindsay autographs that he gives out and the people who come, and I get it, people are busy, maybe you forget, but people want him to come sign something, and it's so often, it feels like every other time, 50%. They don't have something, so they're like expecting you to like whip out a Sharpie.
Don't worry, I got it, man. I'm just walking around with a Sharpie.
And I'm being serious. The reason I do it is because I don't want these people to be disappointed. So I keep a silver one. I keep a black one. I have like a gel type one. I may have a gold one for the Buffs to sign on black stuff. I really may, because I don't like seeing these people disappointed who actually want an autograph.
Well, it's not funny, but it's crazy. Is you've been signing autographs too.
Yeah, once in a while someone will want one. And I do have a gold one. Look at that.
See, there you go.
It's unbelievable. Yeah, once in a while. And I'll be like, are you sure you want me to sign this for you?
Especially when it's like, hey, sign this Colorado Buffalo football, Zach.
Yes. I'm like, are you sure?
We know you love Colorado.
You've been following our content. Oh, my gosh, it's classic. So there's been one player developing in real time on the Broncos offense, but not necessarily in the way that we may have thought. And I'm talking about R.J. Harvey. R.J. Harvey has been producing at a really high level here in these last 3 weeks. Phil, he's got 5 touchdowns in the last 3 weeks. 2 of them on the ground, 3 of them receiving. Now, we know the ones on the ground, he's got the 40-yard touchdown run, longest for a rookie since Phillip Lindsay.
That was a nice run by R.J. Harvey.
It was. The other one, I think, was a schemed-up Wildcat right next to the goal line.
Yep, exactly.
So they're not all created equal. We know that. But going into Week 10 here, and I brought this up last week, and not much has changed in the department. Going into Week 10, Harvey has 44% of his season total coming on 2 carries. Just 2. Week 1 and a couple weeks ago when he had the 40-yard touchdown. 44%. Going into Week 9, it was 48%, almost half. So he's not producing really at a high level on the ground on a series-by-series basis, but I mean, he's getting it done just in a different way.
Yeah, and you know what? When it comes to the name of the game is winning, and the only way you can win is if you score touchdowns. You have to score touchdowns. That's more important than yards. So for R.J. Harvey, he is getting the touchdowns. He's getting the glory, which is important, and also it's an art. If you have a running back that just has a nose for the end zone, you're going to get him more involved. And as of right now, it seems like R.J. Harvey is finding himself in the end zone more times than not, which is good to see. Someone like Austin Eckler, and I had to pull it up, a Colorado native, in one season he had 20 touchdowns. He had 12 rushing and then 8 receiving in one season.
That's insane.
It's insane,
that's
but
like
it gets you paid.
LaDainian Tomlinson-esque.
Yes, and it's an art. When you start to find ways to get in the end zone, and it could be through the air, running the ball, breaking some tackles, and just maneuvering your body to get in the end zone, you just get used to it. So for R.J. Harvey, I would not be surprised because, one, he's a second-round draft pick, and that's Sean's baby.
That is his baby.
I would not be surprised if R.J. Harvey finds himself in the end zone again, just because Sean has been very creative with R.J. in the red zone.
Well, he is on pace right now for 700 all-purpose yards as a rookie and 11 touchdowns. The 11 touchdowns, I think, is
that he's on pace for anyway. We'll see if it works out that way. That's more impressive than the 700 all-purpose yards. 11 touchdowns. That's a lot of touchdowns if he maintains his pace. Yeah, I mean, that's here is Sean Payton talking about how they projected Harvey's receiving ability in the draft process.
Yeah, so what we saw, it was kind of the opposite of Kamara. What we saw with Kamara was the receiving, we saw the rushing, but with RJ, we saw this dynamic rusher. But we also knew his senior year, we got to see rails and you saw soft hands. You knew he played quarterback. And so it's hard to predict sometimes a certain play is going to develop. But his body stature and his agility, before contact, all of those things we really liked.
It's kind of interesting because he's like, he's kind of like Kamara, but kind of not, because we saw Kamara from a mile away with the receiving ability. With Harvey, we saw a dynamic rusher. I don't know if I see a dynamic rusher on a week-by-week basis. I see someone who is thriving in the passing game in a way that, that's above my expectation. And the rushing on a down-to-down basis, look, he's producing for a team that's winning, bottom line. But if we're just looking at him, in a vacuum, it's the receiving ability that's been a little bit more impressive. And we knew he was going to be solid. We saw it against Colorado, 75-yard touchdown, left sideline, all that. But I'm not seeing the dynamic rusher.
No,
Are you?
I'm not seeing the dynamic rusher in R.J. Harvey yet, but also there's context to it. He's not getting 10 carries a game, 11, 12 carries a game, a build-up. Now, I want to see whenever he gets to 3 or 4 carries, I want to see one be more explosive.
Yeah.
But that takes time. It's about getting a rhythm. The reason why you're seeing more of R.J. Harvey out of the backfield is, one, his speed, and two, for Sean, it's like we got J.K., and we know what J.K. can do. And we're not giving J.K. that many opportunities. So for R.J., you have to get in where you fit in. Right now, coming out of the backfield, the swing routes, the wheel routes, the choice routes, those are things that R.J. can do that he doesn't have to do a lot of thinking. And for Bo, it's like getting the ball out of my hands fast and quick. And when you have a quarterback that starts getting used to someone like RJ, where it's like every time I throw to him, he catches the ball. He's my safety blanket. If anything goes wrong, I can just dump it down to him. This is when you're starting to see someone like RJ Harvey get those pass catches, the yards through the air. But I'm with you, Zach. When it comes to being a dynamic running back and busting for 50, 60-yard runs every single game, I don't see that. But then again, we're not getting a lot of opportunities to see him touch the football as a running back, running in between the tackles.
Yeah, we're not. He's got to make more of his opportunities when he does get them. Because here, I'll just repeat it, 44% of his season total, as we're heading into Week 10, is on 2 carries, one against the Titans, one against Dallas. Outside of those 2 carries, he does not have a single carry that went for double-digit yards. That went for 10. I'm talking about. So his longest run outside of those is 9. So, but I want to play. We'll go a minute long here because I want to play this quote from Cortland Sutton, because Sutton was asked about Harvey and gave a way more in-depth response about the rookie running back than I had anticipated. Listen to Cortland talk about R.J. Harvey earlier this week.
RJ's, I think we have a lot of really good young guys, including some of our second-year guys that are making strides this year. But I think we have a lot of really good young guys, especially on the offense side of the ball. RJ's been special, man. It's been a lot of fun watching him go out there and perform. And I'm always messing with him because he's a very smart and humble dude that, he doesn't say much. He just kind of goes out there and he's really good at what he does. And it's fun to watch him go out there and perform, but he gets excited when he makes good plays, but he's not like a boastful, young guy. You come across some dudes that may be very boastful about themselves, and he's not that guy. He's very humble. He's very willing to learn and listen to guys around him. Seeing him adhere to some of the stuff that JK is trying to, drop knowledge on him, or some of the other older guys on the offense trying to, whether it's recovery, whether it's, at practice, whatever it may be, he's always willing to learn and listen. And I think, I say it all the time, I think that's one of the best things that you can say about a young guy, somebody that's willing to come in, learn and listen, and be humble about the process of getting to where they want to get to. And, man, RJ's just a fun guy to watch. I was messing with him this morning I said, man, I don't know what kind of program I need to get on. I need to get on the R.J. Harvey program about how, not getting hit. It's something about him getting hit on the sideline. These dudes be trying to come over there and hit him hard on the sideline. He just boom, and bump off them boys. And, I think it's hilarious, him just going out there and being, as 30 as he is. But Archie's great, man. I'm excited to continue to watch him grow and develop and see where his talents ultimately take him.
Really cool response from Sutton that went over 90 seconds, and this is the most veteran player along with Bowles on the team talking about a rookie, but say, hey, he's humble, doesn't say a lot, listens a lot,
but that's
learns
great
a lot.
Awareness. Great awareness by Court to understanding his teammates and understanding how they click and just watching them and observing like what's going on in the building. That's when you know that you're a vet. That's when you know that you're an older guy, but also that you want to win and you want to know about your teammates.
All right, there is an early trend developing with the Nuggets that is massively important if they plan on making a run at a title. We'll talk about what it is coming up next.
What's going on, everybody? Phillip Lindsay here. And last year, I went a little rogue and dropped a discount code from our friends at Hermes Worldwide. And you guys used it so much, they almost got mad at me. Well, I'm feeling a little spicy again this season. So I'm bringing it back, baby. You can get 30% off your ride to the game with Hermes Worldwide for your entire season. All you have to do is mention the code PL30. Again, mention PL30 when you book your luxury transportation to Empower Field. And contact Hermes Worldwide at 303-577-7600 or visit ridehermes.com/DenverSports. Go Broncos.
Some things in life should never be trial and error, like do-it-yourself dentistry or messing with your home's electrical wiring. That's where Piper Electric comes in. They've been powering homes with expert electrical service since 1983. From simple fixes to commercial and industrial work. Need an EV charger? They'll plug you in without the sparks. Right now, get $50 off your next service. Call 303-422-9219 before you DIY yourself back into the dark ages. Piper Electric. Leave the electricity to the experts.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game and the go-to spot for football season with wall-to-wall TVs, hearty eats, ice-cold drinks, and of course, those scenic views. It's a full-on experience whether you're catching college or pro games this season. Twin Peaks. Eats, drinks, scenic views.
This is Rob Wilhite of the Wilhite Law Firm. If you've been seriously injured in a truck or car wreck, you want Wilhite. Get your free case review now. We've been voted best personal injury law firm for the last 3 years in a row. Visit WilhiteWins.com and win big with Wilhite.
Cake Mortgage Corp. Equal Housing Lender. NMLS number 1734623. Licensed in Colorado by the Division of Real Estate. Terms and conditions apply. Are your bills keeping you up at night? Imagine using your home equity for a financial reset that helps you to finally get ahead again. At Cake Mortgage, we get it. Life's expensive. Insurance, groceries, and high-interest credit card debt. That's why we created the Cake Fast Cash Home Equity Program. Turn your home into your ATM without touching your existing mortgage rate. Cake Fast Cash is fast. Many clients close in 2 weeks, so call Cake today and pay down high-interest cards, free up cash, or fund home upgrades, and you only pay for what you use. Cake Mortgage. Your fresh-baked fast cash loan is ready to enjoy. Call 720-850-0012. That's 720-850-0012. Or visit cakehome.com.
Hey, Stoke here. At Colorado Joint Replacement, your hip or knee replacement surgery is their first priority. They completed over 27,000 joint replacements since 2005, and their expert surgeons are committed to helping you get back to the life you love. To schedule an appointment, visit coloradojoint.org.
Comcast Business can help turn your small business into a connected, secure, modern business. It's how restaurants become reliably up and running neighborhood favorites. How healthcare offices become the data-protecting caregivers that we all depend on. And how wealth management firms become cyber-securing guardians of your information. With reliable connectivity, enhanced cybersecurity, and Wi-Fi backup, your business can stay connected and get threat-ready with Comcast Business. Powering possibilities.
Now through November 16th, new Comcast Business customers can get started with 150 megabit internet plus security for $59.99 a month for 12 months with a 2-year agreement. Plus, ask how to get a $500 prepaid card on a qualifying gig package. Call today. Restrictions apply. Requires enrollment in paperless billing and auto pay with bank account. Early termination fee applies. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra.
Football is here, and Fitness Gallery's fall football sale is your playbook for a winning home gym. Save up to 50% off on select premium equipment. Visit any of our 7 stores from Denver to Fort Collins and score big before the sale ends.
This segment on 104.3 The Fan, powered by Rocky Mountain Men's Clinic.
Get ready for every Broncos game with Super Bowl 50 champion Brandon Marshall as he joins The Drive every Friday afternoon at 4:45 exclusively on Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan. Thanks to Corwin Toyota Boulder. Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan. DenverSports.com and the Denver Sports app. It's The Drive with Zach By and Phillip Lindsay on Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan.
All right, there's an early trend developing with the Denver Nuggets that is massively important if they plan on making a run at an NBA title. Step away from Broncos here for just a couple minutes, get back to it at the top of the hour. The Nuggets cooled down the Heat last night, 122-112.
I love it.
Another double-digit win for Denver. The Nuggets moved to 5-2. I think we would have signed up for that start through 7 games before the first one tipped off. But what I really like is this team is protecting home court. Okay, the Nuggets are 4-0 at home. You know what their record was last year at home? 26-15. They lost 2 more games on the road than they did at home. You know how many games they lost at home the year that they won the NBA title? 7. 7 losses at home the year that they won the title. 15 last year. It's trending back in the direction that it should be.
Protect the home court. And this is what it should look like when you have a well-put-together team. 1, your younger players are going to play better at home. 2, when you have a bench, usually your bench plays better at home.
It's true.
And so when you have all that working for you, on top of your starting 5, firing on all cylinders, like, you should be able to dominate. And I know there's some context to some of the teams we've beat at home so far with the Suns, the Pelicans, the Kings.
Yeah.
But, like, that is what it is. That's their problem, not ours. We handle business, and we continue to move on. So you're right. That is a trend. The other trend, Zach, is the teams that we need to beat, we're beating them up pretty bad.
It's true.
It's not like, hey, they're hanging with us and it's going to come down to the wire. No, we're able to rest our players kind of towards the end of the fourth quarter if we really want to, because we're handling business early. Everybody is getting involved. Jokic, when he knows he needs to turn it on, is turning it on. Jamal at times. Now, for the last 2 times,
I was
going to
say,
cool down a little bit.
I was just going to say, Jamal is coming back down to where he was.
Yeah, which is weird.
I don't really like some of the stuff that I'm seeing, just to be completely honest with you.
What's one thing, though, when you're talking about that?
Just the way he's moving. Forget whether shots are going in and out. When I watch Jamal, when we watch Jamal after the first few games, we're like, wow, this dude is motivated. This dude is back. He is trim. He is looking spry again. And that's not really the same player that I'm watching here the last week and a half, right? You look at the way he started the season. And really it was the game in Minnesota where he scored 43. But it was the first 2 games of the season as well, 25 points and 23 points, followed by the 43-point game. It's the best 3-game sequence he's ever had in the month of October. Since then, 17, 22, 15, 14. So in 3 of the last 4 games, he has scored 17 points or less, again, as a $50 million player. But to take the numbers out, because it's too early to be looking at averages and this and that. I'm just talking about the level of athleticism that I saw early in the first 3 games.
Yeah, they're getting the separation.
And then he's got the calf already.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, he's questionable before this game, and then it's like he's just not moving the same. So something to freak out about? No. Something to keep our eye on? Definitely.
Well, see, I truly think the calf is messing with him because those first 2 or 3 games, he was getting to the rim. He was looking a lot more
separation.
Athletic.
Yes.
Now that he has that calf tightness, it seems like he's kind of like backing off a little bit, shooting a lot more threes. He was one of 8 from the three-point line last night.
Yeah,
that's not good enough. If he makes them, now we're praising him because now he has a 25, 30-point game. But because he missed those three-point shots and he's not getting to the rim and he's not getting that separation, we're scratching our heads. So that's something to definitely look at as you get going. Is like, what are you going to do with someone like Jamal Murray if he's not playing at the level that we know he can be? Do you rest him for a little while just so that he can heal up?
Well, I'm just going to say it. There seems to always be something going on with Jamal.
right? So we can say like, yeah, well, he's banged up. Well, first of all, it's the first 2 weeks of the season, all right? But second of all, he's always banged up, always. So let's just keep our eye on it. Again, not a reason to freak out, but definitely something to continue to monitor. And here's the other thing. Here's the other thing. Well, let's hit the positives first, okay?
All right.
Nikola Jokic masterclass. I mean, I bow before you as a basketball god. I am not worthy to be in your presence. This guy makes the impossible routine. 33 points, 15 rebounds, and 16 assists. And guys, if you watch the games or watch the game last night like we did, the amount of times that he put his teammates in a position to score, Jokic could have had 23, 24 assists last night. Some of the passes that he was making, he was just so freaking dialed in. He had a behind the back in transition to Christian Brown between two defenders. It's like, this guy is just a freaking alien. We're so lucky to have him, and last night was just the latest installment. And in a game that, honestly, someone else has that game, it's the career game. This game will get lost in the shuffle of his greatness.
30-point triple-double, that's what Jokic does best. But the thing is, you are right. Jokic is setting everybody up for success. And the reason why he's still getting his 30 points is because he's getting the rebounds and putting it back in there. So it's like, hey, take your shots. I'm going to go down there. I'm going to box out. I'm going to get the rebound, and then I'll score if I have to, because he doesn't really want to do all this scoring right now. He wants to get everybody involved, like Cam Johnson, when Tim Hardaway Jr. is in there with him. He wants to get everybody going because it makes his job easier. It spaces everybody out, and now he can really work in the paint. So that's something that's like for Jokic, like he's just the man. Like there's nobody better than Jokic.
No, and last night there is no competition because Bam Adebayo goes out really after the first quarter. Yeah. He's an all-NBA player, all-NBA defender who really still can't stop Jokic, but he represents some, like, slowing him down a little bit. Dude, they just said, nope, we're going to bully you guys. It was Aaron Gordon and it was Jokic taking over the paint. 62 points in the paint last night for the Denver Nuggets.
There's a man that I want to talk about, Zach. I want to pick your brain about.
Okay.
Back up, man.
Let's put a pin in that.
Yeah.
Let's put a pin in that. We can discuss it on the other side for a couple minutes because there's something else that we need to keep an eye on too, because it feels like I'm watching the same game over and over with one guy that we have to show grace to, but it's also kind of starting to get frustrating. We'll get to that. Also, do we have reason to believe that tonight we'll see Bo Nix and the Broncos offense find some consistency, or do the Raiders have a wrinkle that actually bothers Bo? We'll get to it next.
The Fan Flyaway is back, presented by 303 Law 4040. Save that number in your phone. You never know when you're going to need it. To kick off 2026, Denver Sports 1043 The Fan is sending you to Phoenix for the biggest party in golf. Airfare, hotel tickets, and $500 in spending money, all included. Head to thefanflyaway.com to register. That's thefanflyaway.com. Denver Sports 1043 The Fan.
What is up, guys? Phillip Lindsay here, and I want to tell you about my new obsession, and that's with Daisy's French Onion Dip. One of my guilty pleasures during football season is eating dips with chips, wings, and veggies while watching any big-time game. And now that Daisy's has come out with a delicious Daisy French Onion Dip, along with a Daisy Ranch Dip, guys, these are definitely game changers that you're not going to want to miss out on. They're as delicious as a homemade dip, and they're made with real herbs and spices and other ingredients that you can find in your own kitchen. So if you want to be blown away like I was, then you need to give Daisy's French Onion Dip a try today. You can find Daisy's French Onion Dip at a grocery store near you.
Dan Jacobs with 303 Law 4040. With just a friendly tip here, I like to remind people that they never want to be gambling that the person that hits them has good insurance. So I want you to take a look at your insurance policies. Check and make sure that you have two things. One's called MedPay coverage. You want to make sure you have that. And then also UM/UIM coverage. This will protect you in case you get into an accident and the person that hits you doesn't have good insurance. If you have any questions, just give me a call. 303 Law 4040. That's 303 Law 4040.
This is Jeff for Rocky Mountain Men's Clinic, where we've successfully treated thousands of men for low testosterone and helped them feel like their old selves again. Please take a moment and listen to how we help Greg.
Hi, my name is Greg. I've been a patient of Rocky Mountain Men's Clinic for over 10 years. I noticed that I was really tired. I was lethargic. I didn't sleep really well, and I was overweight. My waist was 4 inches over what it should have been. It was really difficult for me to lose the body shape I didn't like. And of course, my marriage, yes. No man in their 40s wants to have low libido in their marriage. I'm really thankful for this therapy because it just makes me feel the man I want to be, active, at home, everywhere. If you're feeling like I was, call the Rocky Mountain Men's Clinic today and get checked. You have nothing to lose and everything to gain.
Thanks, Greg. It's true. Low T therapy will likely change your life. Your initial appointment is only $99 and includes blood work and a medical consult. Call 720-440-7900 or go to RockyMountainMen'sClinic.com.
The wait is over. AC/DC's back live Power Up Tour, July 28th. Empower Field at Mile High. Tickets on sale Friday at 12 noon at Ticketmaster.com. July 28th, Empower Field at Mile High. Don't miss AC/DC.
Peyton Manning here. Throughout my football career, staying healthy was a big priority, but bumps, bruises, and injuries were part of the game. And for me, it's not just the clinical excellence and expertise that sets a medical team apart. It's also the compassion, kindness, and empathy they show. At Common Spirit Health, healing is quality care and human kindness. And my friends at Common Spirit are teaming up with their partners to spread human kindness and create healthy communities. Common Spirit Health. Hello, human kindness.
Hey guys, Mark Schlereth here from my friends at Xfinity. Imagine all that could happen in 5 years. Jobs may change, kids are going to grow, new memes will come out, but also, what if you had reliable, intelligent Wi-Fi and the price didn't change for 5 years? Well, thanks to Xfinity 5-year price guarantee, you actually don't have to worry about that part of your future. You're guaranteed 5 years of Wi-Fi that boosts speeds to your devices that need them the most, that finds and fixes any issues before you even notice them. It's like a super intelligent Wi-Fi that keeps you protected from threats online. Plus, you get incredible gaming speeds on multiple devices with no one battling for bandwidth. For the next 5 years, all your devices are going to be working in perfect harmony, and you get our best equipment with no annual contracts, no fees, no strings attached. So even though your kids will grow up and you still won't understand what 6-7 means, your internet will stay sharp, reliable, and most importantly, the price will stay put. All with the Xfinity 5-year price guarantee. Lock in your price and unlock the possibilities. Xfinity, imagine that. Restrictions apply. Select plans only.
Do you want the lowest rate for life? Get our 4.75 5-year fixed. APR is 5.89.
Did you say 4.75% fixed for 5 years?
Yes.
Yeah, I want that, but what if rates fall?
Our lowest rate for life program takes over. If rates fall even as little as 0.5%, we can redo your loan with no lender fees and no appraisal fee and no limits to the number of times used. Only at U.S. Mortgages. Call 303-LOW-RATE or online at usmloan.com.
All loans subject to approval and change. See website for complete details. License number 392126.
Hey sports fans, did you know that O'Mara owns GMC on 104th? And now it's time to check them out.
That's right, and O'Mara GMC announces the lowest lease payments of the year. GMC Hummer, just $549. Sierra 1500, just $479.
Lisa, GMC Hummer for only $549 a month, or a Sierra 1500 for just $479?
That's O'Mara GMC on 104th. OmaraGMC.com.
Stock SZ167052 and SU104091. See the website for complete details.
KKFN and KKFN HD1 Longmont, Denver. You're listening to Denver Sports 104.3. The Fan. Leading off with the big story of the day, here's The Drive with Zach By and Denver, Colorado's own Phillip Lindsay.
One hour in the books. Quicker than a New York minute. Woo! Hanging out with you on a game day. Talking ball. And I do want to finish up our Nuggets conversation really quick and then get back into Broncos. We're going to be joined by Mike Kliss at 3:15. And then we're going to pivot and do something we rarely do at 3:30 because we have some breaking news in Colorado sports that I think is really important. And we're going to get you guys up to speed on exactly what you need to know
and we'll do that soon. Real quick, go ahead. You had a thought about the Nuggets.
Yes, I did.
And we can put a bow on that conversation.
All right, cool. We're taking that pin out, Zach. I love when we take the pin out. My question to you, picking your brain when it comes to the depth, specifically the center position in Val, VJ.
Yep.
All right, and what he has done so far, or the minutes that he's getting, and maybe he wants a little bit more. What's your take on that? He's averaging around 12 minutes a game.
Yep.
I thought he was going to play a little bit more, and I know it's early. But for a big man like Val who has played before, Valanciunas, maybe you want to play a little bit more to get in a rhythm where sometimes it looks like he's not in rhythm.
Yeah, I think it's a fair question. And Jokic, I mean, you don't necessarily want Jokic playing 37 minutes, in game number 8 or 7 in the Nuggets case. I think you're actually like most people. I think most people anticipated Val playing just a little bit more. But this is why I said with Adelman, it's like I said, it's so easy to say, hey, we're going to do X, Y, Z. But then when you actually get into the season and you're the one wearing the wins and losses, shocker, you want to play the greatest player walking planet Earth more than you thought you did.
Not that hard.
So, I mean, and also, there was a ton of hype around Val, and I was excited about Val, still am. And he's going to have his nights. But I think at the same time, I think that maybe the hype got outsized to who Jonas Valanciunas actually is. And I remember before he ever played a game earlier this summer saying, I don't know if he'll play on every night during the playoffs.
I remember you saying that.
I said, hold on a second.
I thought you were crazy for saying that. Say, hey, everybody's hyped around this man. Why would he not play in the playoffs?
And I think he's going to play in the playoffs, but in terms of an every night, like built-in minutes, I don't know about that. So, and we're sort of seeing some of that here a little bit. He struggled last night. He looked out of sorts. So let's just keep our eye on it. I still think he's going to be the best backup center of the Jokic era, but we have to manage our expectations. I mean, there's a reason why he was going to go play in Europe, right? So,
well, I feel like we're managing our expectations for Val. We're managing our expectations right now, as of right now, for Cam Johnson.
Yeah, that's the other one I wanted to talk about. It's not like look. And are we nitpicking to a degree? Yeah, maybe. But we're watching the games every night. And if you're watching the games every night, you're going to have some of these takeaways as well. With Cam Johnson, I sort of feel like I'm watching the same game over and over.
Yes.
And it's getting kind of frustrating. Again, it's 7 games into the season. We have to show him a level of grace. I have a career of sample size to rely on. He's a really good player. But, man, he is not doing the number one thing that his career says he is supposed to be doing. Now, he went 2 of 5 last night from 3. That's actually a step in the right direction, right? I mean, he was 0 for 5 the previous game, 1 for 5. I mean, so, like, and he's doing other stuff, and I know people don't necessarily want to hear this, but he's doing some other stuff here while he's been struggling.
But the issue is, Zach, it's like, for Cam Johnson, Jokic just set him up for success. He's wide open. It's not like a contested shot. It's like, all you have to do is catch and shoot, and you're not making the easy ones. Now, I know it's hard to shoot in this league, and it's all about rhythm, and Cam Johnson at some point will catch fire. But I want to see it more times than not, especially when you're wide open and Jokic is feeding you the rock and telling you to shoot the damn ball.
Yeah, honestly, you know what Cam Johnson needs? He needs to borrow some of the mentality right now from Tim Hardaway Jr.
Ooh.
How fun is this guy to watch right now? and again, and I'm not taking too early victory laps, but I warned our listeners several times coming into the season saying this fan base will fall in love with Tim Hardaway Jr. They're going to fall in love, and the honeymoon stage, it's on because, man, he is so fun to watch, but his unconscious nature of shooting the basketball. You talk about a guy who is a willing shooter. Oh, my gosh, he is not thinking. And I love watching basketball players who just play and aren't thinking. Tim Hardaway Jr. is just playing. Cam Johnson is thinking.
See, and thinking will get you beat. It will get you hurt when you're thinking too much. Tim Hardaway Jr. is just playing free, saying, I know that I'm a backup. I'm a bench player. But when I come in the game, I'm here to make a difference. And he's making a huge difference because without Tim Hardaway Jr., as of right now, these games are a little closer than we want them to be in.
It's true.
And it's all because of his confidence. Cam Johnson, get the same confidence. You're the starter. Get the same confidence as Tim Hardaway Jr., and let's go.
All right, man. 5-2 after 7. It's not perfect, but it's I always say don't let really good or don't let perfection be the enemy of really good. It's really good right now, and it's early, and they're going to continue to form. The team is still forming. Okay, do we have reason to believe that tonight we'll see Bo Nix and the Broncos offense find some level of consistency, or do the Raiders have a wrinkle that actually bothers Bo? So here's a reason to be optimistic. The Raiders have generated the second lowest pressure rate in the NFL this season. They do not get after the quarterback. And I know Max Crosby is great. What a career, Hall of Fame track, all that. But as a team, they don't generate pressure. Bo Nix should have ample opportunity to distribute the football.
Yeah, and that's if Bo sets his feet, stays in the pocket, and understands how to beat a zone, because that's exactly what the Raiders are going to want to do. They're not going to bring a bunch of pressure. They want Mad Max Crosby to try to get pressure on Bo, but other than that, they're going to want to keep everything in front of him. So for Bo Nix, it's like, hey, you may not have a bunch of shots downfield at the beginning. Take what's given to you. Take what's there. If it's a dump off to R.J. Harvey for 5 yards, get it to him. If it's getting Evan Ingram involved right down the middle of the field for 5 or 10 yards, do that early so that you can sustain drives, get in some type of rhythm, and it will open up for you. But for Bo, I want to see him set his feet this time. I don't want to see Bo Nix running out of the pocket and then trying to make a pass if he doesn't have to do that. If the offensive line, who we're paying a lot of money for, is holding up, help them out. Stay in that pocket, set the feet, step into your throw, be accurate, move the ball, and set your team up, set your receivers up for success.
Well, that stat I gave you leads you to believe there it could be a night of optimism regarding the Broncos offense, in particular the passing offense, the fact that the Raiders have generated the second lowest pressure rate in the NFL this year. But turn the coin over. The Raiders play zone defense 83% of the time,
Yeah.
Phil. That is the third highest rate in the NFL. And Bo Nix has generated 39% success rate against zone. It's the fourth lowest number in the NFL. 4 of 6 interceptions for Bo Nix have come against zone. We've talked about this. It's not the first time, but what Bo has a tendency to struggle with, the Raiders do at the third highest rate in the league.
And for Bo, it's all about this. It's the timely throws. Or let's just say this. The Houston Texans game, you had Cortland Sutton wide open down the field, but Bo put too much air on it. Bo has to understand when you're playing zone, there's a guy over the top. So you're going to have to kind of zip it in there. Don't put too much air on it. Zip it in there. Get it to your receiver so that you don't have a situation where it's getting picked off. For Bo, he's going to have to play slow in his mind. Slow play this. See what's open. Take what's there. Use your legs and run for that first down. And if you do that, you'll have more success. And the good thing about playing against the Raiders is the Raiders have the exact same defense as the Houston Texans. The one thing that the Raiders don't do that the Houston Texans did was the Houston Texans are going to blitz. Our Houston Texans would go out there with a 4-2-5 defense. The Raiders are going to play a 4-2-5 defense as well. 4 down linemen, 2 linebackers, and then 5 secondary players. So the only thing that's different this week is there's not going to be as much pressure going their way, which is good for Bo, where it's like, hey, now you can relax. And also what's good is a lot of the plays that we had in the Texans game are going to be the similar plays that you're going to see against the Raiders that work because they're playing the same type of defense.
Well, same type of defense. I like that for the familiarity and sort of like almost like hopefully getting into a rhythm of seeing the same sort of look. But the Texans just have better players than the Raiders do. So same defensive approach from the sound of it, but the actual personnel is not the same. We're going to be joined by Mike Kliss here in about 5 minutes. But before that, what do you anticipate the order of operations being in the running back distribution?
Oh, it's the same. RJ's going to get his opportunities throughout the game. He's usually going to be utilized as a pass-catching running back. That's what he's been doing well as of right now. He's scoring touchdowns because of it. JK is the man, and he's going to continue to be the man until he's not. Therefore, you run the damn football with him. You give him the 15 to 20 carries. I want to see him getting more than 15 carries, though. I want to see 17, 18, 20 carries tonight. It's a Thursday night football game. You didn't utilize him a lot during the Texans game. All right, it's a bland play calling situation on a Thursday night where everything is just basic.
Simplified.
Exactly, just simple. And the simplest thing you can do is hand the football off. So for JK, this may be a big night. I'm thinking it's going to be a big night for JK and also the offensive line just getting downhill. And when you are messing with a pass rusher by the name of Max Crosby, who can wreck a game.
He can.
The easiest thing to do is go at him running the ball or run away from him. But don't sit there and drop back and want to throw 50 times when you know that you have a pass rusher that can get to your quarterback seven out of the 10 times because of just how relentless he is. So run the football, set yourself up for third and shorts, set yourself up for the play action, and sustain drives that way.
Well, so far this season, Mad Max has been good, not great. His pressure rate is a little bit down. His sack rate is just a tick down. He's got 5 sacks in 8 games. He's on pace for, a 10 sack season, but not to the level when he was like in his mid 20s and was 14 and a half sacks.
But do you really want to poke that bear?
No. But because here's what I was going to say. And you talk about your familiarity and association with the Chargers. You just felt like you were going to score a touchdown when you played the Chargers. Mad Max, for whatever reason, and maybe this is in my head, but I don't think that it is. It seems like he always plays his best football against the Denver Broncos. For whatever reason, it seems like he always shows up in these games against Denver. He's a problem. I'm not trying to minimize him. He just might not be to the level that he once was a couple years ago. Still damn good, though.
Yeah, and I'm not willing to risk it. So going into this game, max protection, chipping, a lot of chipping, whether it's a tight end, whether it's a running back, just continuing to hit Max Crosby, hit him in the ribs, just slow him down because it's going to be a long day for McGlinchey if it's just one-on-one with McGlinchey on Max Crosby. Yeah. So you're going to have to help McGlinchey out by chipping, by just giving that presence so that Bo Nix can set his feet and he can feel comfortable in that pocket.
Well, I hope you're right about the Dobbins conversation.
JK.
Dobbins has shown you, if you involve him heavily in the run game, he's going to produce. I don't see a scenario where he's involved heavily and he's not producing at a high level because we haven't seen that yet. So I'm drawing from our experience through 9 weeks. If he is around 15 to 18 carries, he'll be somewhere between 70 and 100 yards, just depending if he breaks one or not. So his over-under total, I saw this morning looking at it, is 15 and a half carries. So the odds makers are thinking like we're going to get a healthy dose of J.K. Dobbins.
You hitting the over or under on this one?
Man, you want to know what?
Because what I've heard is like you give great advice when it comes to gambling.
Someone did say that here at a commercial break.
Broke my heart.
I'm not sure about this one. And I said before the Philly game, last week before the Houston game, and this is before we knew Mills was going to Mills was going to end up playing and C.J. Stroud. But when Sean Payton goes into a game and feels his own mortality and truly have to play it by the book, he typically calls the game authentically. No sort of agenda. We've seen Sean when he gets some wiggle room, he goes into his own agenda.
Yeah.
And this is, you're the largest favorite in pro football. And so if they get up on the Raiders, by a score or two, I think we'll see him try to feature RJ a little bit more. That's just my take on it. I'm curious to get yours here in just a second. But before we do that, let's check in with our guy, Mike Kliss, joining us here on a Thursday. We typically do this on a Friday, so love you being flexible with us. He's presented by Fitness Gallery. Mike, what do you think the single biggest key to victory today to win on, how about this, Mike, to win a primetime game against an AFC West opponent for the first time since 2017?
I would say they just have to make sure they don't fall asleep. If they show up and bring the energy, they don't have to play their best game to beat the Raiders, but they can't sleepwalk. They can't play like they did against the Jets in London. They can't play like they did against the Titans in the opener. There's a couple games here this year where the Broncos, those games where the Giants was another one. where they weren't sleepwalking, but it just didn't seem like the energy was there in the beginning, at least on offense. And I think with this Thursday night crowd, it's a division rival. If they bring the energy, because I think the Raiders will. I think Pete Carroll will have the Raiders ready for this game.
Agreed.
They should have won last week against Jacksonville, or almost did. And I think they'll be pumped for this game. They got Bowers back. They got Crosby back. I think this is going to be – I think the Broncos need to approach this game like it's going to be a big-time fight.
Well, Mike, you're kind of sitting here sounding like this could possibly be a trap game. Is that the case?
I wouldn't call it a trap game. I would call it a game where I think this team is I think this team's draining some gas. Just boy, that was the wrong way to put it. A little bit fatigued. They had the London. They didn't get the bye week after London. They regrouped against the Cowboys. They went back on the road against Houston. I know I feel covering the team that I need a bye week. And, when this game's over, they're going to get a little bye this weekend. I think Sean Payton did a smart thing by basically not pushing these guys at all physically during practice this week. They basically had 2 walkthroughs and meetings. Strap it on today and go get them. Because they're bumped. They've got some bumps and bruises. They got some injuries now. They're beat up a little bit. I think they're tired, and they just have to muster it up here one more time against a opponent they know they should beat. And then you got that huge game next week against the Chiefs. I just think it just might be a human condition that. Maybe it is a little bit of a trap with the Chiefs next week, but I just think this team is a little bit tired and needs to summon some inner strength here.
Yeah, I think this could be a closer football game than a lot of people think, or even the odds makers think here in the third and fourth quarter. I hope I'm wrong about that, but if I turn out to be right about that, I think it's going to be because we may all be collectively missing Pat Surtain in a way that we have not had to genuinely feel ever. He is the sort of prototype to match up with Brock Bowers, who I think is the single best tight end in all of professional football when healthy, and he is healthy, and he's coming off a 127 3-touchdown game. I'm a little bit fearful, especially considering the way that the Broncos over the last decade really have shown the inability to cover the tight end at a high level, Mike.
Yeah, and I know with Chris Abrams Drain and Jadae Barron, that Vance Joseph would like to play a little bit more zone. But from what I gather, Brock Bowers eats up the zones. And so that's really going to be a challenge for them. They got to put a man on him. I'm not sure which man it's going to be. Is it Justin Sternad, who covers well from the inside linebacker spot? Is it Jaquan McMillan, who's a slot guy and he covers a lot of tight ends, but he gives away a lot of size? Is it one of the safeties, Brandon Jones? Maybe it is Brandon Jones. They got to put somebody one-on-one on Brock Bowers. Jones is so good, kind of seeing the whole field and kind of covering the top for that Denver defense for Vance Joseph, along with Hufanga. But so it's going to be interesting to see what Joseph has up his sleeve for Bowers. I know they were concerned about him enough to where they gave him a green scout jersey this week, which popped, not just a regular Raider jersey, but a green number 45, and had Caleb Lohner play him. So they know that Bowers is the guy the Raiders go to, and the one guy that Vance Joseph is going to, if not take away, to minimize as much as he can.
Mike, no doubt that the Raiders are going to go with Brock Bowers. So in order to stop that from happening, the offense is going to have to sustain drives. And in order to sustain drives, do you feel like we're going to get a healthy dose dose of J.K. Dobbins, who has 695 yards so far, 4 touchdowns, averaging 5 yards a carry.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm not sure what the game plan is, what Sean Payton sees. If he thinks he can run the ball on the Raiders. The Raiders, people who talk to the stats of the offense for the Raiders will never mind that because Bowers is back and Geno Smith is playing that much better because Bowers is back. On defense, Crosby's been out quite a bit, and now he's back, and he's a difference maker on the defense. When you have Crosby on the other side and you've had trouble blocking him, Garrett Bowles is, I think, ready to take him on one-on-one as much as anybody is. But when you have Crosby on the other side, you do want to run the ball and play action off it. But, I think Dobbins has got the ball enough. When you look at his injury history, ACL, Achilles, last year he went down for 4 games with MCL, I believe. You don't want to give him more than 15. He's getting 15 carries a game. Given his injury history, you start giving him 20, 22 carries, I'm not sure he holds up. So I think they're doing a good job there. Maybe giving Harvey a few more carries would help. But I think Dobbins is right where he needs to be ball carry-wise.
Mike, last one from me. Evan Ingram hasn't really had a game yet where it's like the Evan Ingram game. The Raiders play a lot of zone defense. 83% of the time, they're in zone. That's the 3rd highest rate in the NFL. I think it could be an opportunity for Evan Ingram to be sitting down in the middle of some of these soft spots and have his best game. What do you think?
Makes sense to me. I didn't realize the Raiders played so much zone. But, yeah, if they do, that's the bread and butter for a tight end, a guy like Evan Ingram. I think Sean Payton has struggled a little bit in that he likes to have tight ends block for his running game and not give the tell in the passing game. And Evan Ingram doesn't give enough, I think, in Sean Payton's mind, not in Evan Ingram's mind, but in Sean Payton doesn't think Evan Ingram gives enough blocking for the run game. And so I think he's struggling to reconcile that, how to best use Evan Ingram without providing a tell to the defense that they're going to pass the ball because Ingram's in the game. And so they got to figure that out going forward. They got 8 games left. And you're right, maybe tonight's the night.
Mike, give me a quick prediction.
I will go, it's a 9-point spread.
Yep.
I will go 27 to 17 Broncos. I'll go ahead and say that they cover by a point there.
All right, Mike just told you what to do with your money, guys. Obviously kidding. I'm totally kidding. Mike, I appreciate you so much for playing along with us, and we'll check in with you again next week.
All right, thanks, guys.
All right, there he goes. Love Mike, man. Love Mike. That was our 9 News Broncos Insider presented by Fitness Gallery. They sell the world's finest fitness equipment. A stone-cold lock from Mike Cliff.
Yeah.
10
points. Let's go.
Well, we'll see. We'll see how it all shakes out. All right, we are going to throw a little curveball here. We are not going to do the 3 count today, all right, because we have breaking news here within the last hour or so in Colorado sports that could, over time, shift our entire sporting dynamic here in Denver sports. And we'll talk about it next.
Will the Broncos avoid the trap game and earn their first divisional win of the season? Will Bo Nix and Evan Ingram finally get on the same page? We'll break it all down in the Fan Football Postgame Show, live on game day starting at the 2-minute warning. Denver Sports 104.3. The Fan.
Okay, I have to tell you, I was just looking on eBay where I go for all kinds of things I love, and there it was.
That hologram trading card. One of the rarest, the last one I needed for my set. Shiny like the
designer handbag of my dreams. One of a kind. eBay had it, and now everyone's asking, ooh, where'd you get your
windshield wipers? eBay has all the parts that fit my car. No more annoying, just beautiful.
Millions of finds, each with a story.
eBay. Things people love.
We know exactly what you're not thinking about right now. Wiper blades. But now that you are, take a moment to think about how Rain-X is the #1 brand of wiper blades in America. Why? Because Rain-X thinks about wiper blades all the time. We obsess, so you don't have to. Simply install our blades and then think about literally anything else. So choose Rain-X, America's #1 wiper blades, and then go back to not thinking about wiper blades. Rain-X. Outsmart the elements.
Hey, what's up, guys? It's Zach By here for 5280 Exteriors. Right now, they have a generous deal on windows. Receive $1,000 off every 10 windows you purchase. On top of that, they want to be a part of your Thanksgiving celebration. They will provide you with a $100 gift card to your local grocery store to contribute to your Thanksgiving festivities. Call 5280 Exteriors today to take advantage of this special November promotion. 5280 Exteriors, the altitude of quality.
At Berg Simpson, we are passionate about what we do. We bring that passion and our expertise to the office and courtroom every single day. We're always working hard and are committed to doing everything we can to give our clients the best opportunity to have a great result.
If you've been injured, call Berg Simpson for free now at 303-790-2525. 303-790-2525. BergSimpson.com. Good lawyers changing lives. It's not just a slogan, it's who we are.
Wow, Leslie, your fireplace really sucks.
I beg your pardon?
Well, what I mean is your fireplace is literally sucking all the air out of your house and right up the chimney every time you burn it.
Well, what can I do about it?
Well, you could get a high-efficiency gas insert from Cozy Heat. It keeps all the air you already pay the utility company to heat, and it returns up to 80% of the fire's heat back into your house.
I'd use my fireplace every chance I get if I could do that. Maybe my furnace wouldn't need to run so much.
Well, that's the whole point. Hi, this is Keith Lair with Lair Fireplace and Patio, along with my niece Leslie, to tell you how a gas insert from Cozy Heat will give you the incentive to use your fireplace again. Cozy Heat gas fireplaces and inserts are made to crank out the heat with beauty and style.
Lair's is Denver's oldest, most trusted name in fireplaces. Family owned and operated since 1954.
We'll even give you a free in-home quote, including expert installation by our own certified in-house installers.
Find us on the web at lairfireplacepatio.com.
For top quality Cozy Heat fireplaces and inserts, it's Lair Fireplace and Patio, Denver's fireplace experts.
Hey, what's up, guys? It's Zach here. The Fed just dropped rates again, and that's really great news for American homeowners. If you're feeling overwhelmed, thinking about the upcoming holidays, there is no better time than now to get your finances in order. With rates dropping, now is the time to pay off that debt. American Financing is helping homeowners access the equity in their home for instant savings. They're saving people just like you an average of $800 a month, and many are seeing rates in the low fives. That's a game changer compared to those sky-high credit cards. And if you start today, you may be able to delay 2 mortgage payments. It costs absolutely nothing to find out how much you can save. The holidays are going to be here before you know it, so don't wait. Call their salary-based mortgage consultants today. American Financing can be reached at 303-695-7000. That's 303-695-7000 or online at americanfinancing.net. NMLS 182334, NMLSconsumeraccess.org. APR for rates in the 5s start at 6.196 for well-qualified buyers. Call 303-695-7000 for details about credit costs and terms.
Payton Manning here. Throughout my football career, staying healthy was a big priority, but bumps, bruises, and injuries were part of the game. And for me, it's not just the clinical excellence and expertise that sets a medical team apart. It's also the compassion, kindness, and empathy they show. At Common Spirit Health, healing is quality care and human kindness. And my friends at Common Spirit are teaming up with their partners to spread human kindness and create healthy communities. Common Spirit Health. Hello, human kindness.
Black Friday is going on now at every AutoNation store. Hurry in and save for a limited time. Buy with 0 down, plus make no payments till next year. Shop new and used cars, trucks, SUVs, even top luxury models. Drive with 0 down, plus no payments till next year. Save your cash for the holidays. Go to your nearest AutoNation store now.
Limited term financing on approved credit. 90-day deferred payment. Interest accrues from date of purchase. See store for details.
Hi, I'm Terrell Davis, two-time world champion and Pro Football Hall of Famer. There is nothing more important than your health. That's why I made the smart move to invest in fitness equipment with Fitness Gallery. It's a game changer. I have a true treadmill at home. It's the smoothest and quietest I've ever been on.
Football is here, and Fitness Gallery's fall football sale is your playbook for a winning home gym. Save up to 50% off on select premium equipment. Visit any of our 7 stores from Denver to Fort Collins and score big before the sale ends.
Hey, Stokely here, and let me tell you, fall golf is the best golf Colorado has to offer, and it's not too late to get fully dialed in for the last few months of the season. At Embers Golf in Westminster, they're not just selling golf clubs, they're crafting a journey for golf lovers like you. It's a boutique-style shop, family-owned, with 2 hitting bays, all the major brands, and fully upgraded custom shafts. Come in for a full bag fitting. Trust me, there's nothing else like it around. Embers Golf, where your golf journey begins.
Want to partake in our contest? Check out the rules at DenverSports.com. You're listening to The Drive with Zach By and Phillip.
From Mile High Station, walking you up to Broncos kickoff on Thursday Night Football. All right, but man, we have a very big story happening in Denver sports right now. In a way that I did not see happening today when I woke up this morning. And to discuss it, we are with Jake Shapiro from DenverSports.com. Jake, the Colorado Rockies made a bit of a splash today in the sports world. It's on the front page of ESPN.com right now, and I know you wrote about it at DenverSports.com. Go ahead and tell our audience what we need to know.
Yeah, the Colorado Rockies today made Paul DePodesta the president of baseball operations. Paul was the executive working for the Cleveland Browns for the last 10 years, but he is most famously known for his role in Moneyball, where he was the assistant GM for Billy Beane. He was portrayed in that movie as Jonah Hill. So for all of us who have seen Moneyball, what Jonah Hill did in that movie was essentially what Paul DePodesta did in real life during that run 20 years ago with the Oakland A's.
Well, with Jake, with that being said, should we all be optimistic about the Rockies moving forward?
No, it's the Colorado Rockies still, Phil. Like, nothing changed today. It's that they hired a new guy. And people will tell you, well, Paul's been in some bad situations. But the last 20 years of his track record has been very rough. Like, look at the Cleveland Browns over the last 10 years. They made the worst trade in the history of football and gave $230 million guaranteed to Deshaun Watson, right? That's Paul DePodesta. Like, that's the guy running that team. He has been in charge. You go to Browns Reddit right now, guys. The Browns fans are cheering that this guy's finally away from the organization. You might be saying, oh, well, Jimmy Haslam, the Browns have a bad owner. What's going on at 20th and Blake? They have a bad owner. You want to go back to when Paul DePodesta moved away from the Oakland A's, right? He went on and got that GM job for the Los Angeles Dodgers. His most famous move in running the Los Angeles Dodgers was letting Hall of Famer Adrian Beltre walk in free agency. Like, he did not have a tenured track record over the last 20 years. He had some really bad stints in the Mets front office as well. So this is a guy who everyone's going to be excited about because Jonah Hill played in the movie, right? You look at the track record, it's not that great.
For sure. I'm excited.
Man, Jake Shapiro, DenverSports.com. Do we know who is actually behind this hire?
Yeah, it's apparently Walker Monfort, mostly, not Dick Monfort. This is Walker Monfort running the Rockies. And if you want to look at what you would do, Zach, or anybody that's just on the planet that knows a lick about baseball but maybe isn't an expert, and you go, oh, that Moneyball movie was good. I wonder what the guy who ran all the Moneyball stuff was up to. You'd probably go, I'm running a baseball team now. Let's hire the Moneyball guy, right? Like, that's what any layman would do. And guess what? Walker Monfort in the Rockies organization, he's a guy who's risen through the ranks rather quickly. It's not like this is a baseball man through and through. This is a guy who used his father's wealth to get this job, and all of a sudden he points at the movie that was popular and says, let's hire Jonah Hill's character. Let's bring that to Colorado. So this is kind of a joke in my opinion. It's a bold move. I'll give him credit for that. But the two men that they were considering before were serious baseball men with pedigree in the last 5 years. Paul has done nothing in baseball the last 10.
Man, so, Jake, real quick here. The two candidates they pulled out, or allegedly, where are we at with that? One pulled out and then one
declined it.
Like just declined it, I guess. But I thought that this job, because it is so unique, and I've heard true through and through baseball people say, hey, if you get the right mind in there with an incredible, a unique situation here at altitude, the right mind could actually make this thing a really a coveted place to be and have baseball and thrive. Did we not see the industry respond to those sort of claims that this is the route that the Rockies are going? Or did people, in your mind, want this job that the Rockies just didn't entertain that their ideas there?
I think, Zach, you're completely right. This is a unique challenge, one of the most unique challenges in baseball. I've talked to so many executives in my years covering baseball that have said, oh, I would love to do something with Coors Field, try to solve that problem that no one's ever solved. The problem is once you get into the interview with Dick Monfort and you realize what your responsibilities are and what you'll actually be doing and what you'll actually be responsible for doesn't match what your vision probably is for that baseball team. You know, this is a team that I've reported over the past that, you know, we all know Nolan Arenado is awesome. We know how that went down. But the entire time Nolan Arenado was here on the Rockies, Dick Monfort, from my knowledge, liked Chris Bryant just as much and thought he was just as good of a ball player, which was thought of as a joke across Major League Baseball. This is a guy who had eyes for Chris Bryant the entire time and then gave him most of the money he would have given Nolan Arenado anyway. And we see how that is going. So I don't know how much control anyone in this position would have gotten, but they were highly respected names that dropped out of the running, and that's what I suspect. But you want to look at what the Rockies did actually do. And I'm being negative, right? But what the Rockies did was hire a guy who changed the game of baseball and bigger sports 20 years ago with what he thought. Now they're taking that brain and saying, hey, can you solve the problem that is playing baseball at 52-80? No one's really been able to do it. And if it's going to be anyone, it might be this guy. Just the last 10 years indicate that he hasn't been able to fix the Browns, but that might just be because they're the Cleveland Browns.
Yeah, and I have to be honest, just from an optic standpoint, like, I know he's got the history in baseball, but, man, you just hired a guy who's been working in football for the last decade. And don't forget, it was Bill Schmidt who had the football background as well, didn't he? Or was that Greg Fiesel? Yeah. It was. I think that might have been Greg Fiesel, who was the former president that had the football background that Dick Monfort also hired.
Yeah, that was Greg. Bill was a lifelong baseball man. But this is, at least, by the way, and we have this positive thing. Walker Monfort and Dick Monfort said they would look outside the organization, and they hired someone outside the organization. So that is a big improvement from where the Rockies have been. But you want to look at the Rockies over the last 10 years, the Cleveland Browns over the last 10 years, it's about the same, man.
Oh, man.
It's about the same.
I mean, you talk about going outside of the organization. They went outside of the sport. Oh, my gosh. Wow. Jake, really appreciate your time and summary of today's news. You can go read more about it at DenverSports.com. Thanks, Jake.
Yeah, they still have a lot of work to do. They've got to hire a manager, and the GM meetings are next week. They're back. We're really against the wall here, Zach.
Man, oh, man, oh, man. You know what, Phil? It's just sometimes you just say you can't make it up.
Well, Zach, you know, I was a little optimistic because of Moneyball.
Yeah.
I watched it as one of my favorite shows.
Sure.
Movies.
Sure.
And it's just like listening and hearing what Jake, and it's just like, damn, man, like we're never going to get out of this. Are we?
I mean, if this doesn't work, the low-hanging fruit of criticism will be so ripe it'll be falling off the tree. And it'll go something like, what did you expect You hired someone that was running the Cleveland Browns into the ground and had him come try. It's just the narrative is already
you have
set.
to ask yourself, are the other candidates?
Yeah.
Or who else wanted this job? You had people that were opting out, people that were declining the offer. So it's who else would you have picked?
And it's a good question, but I'm telling you, I've heard baseball people for years say, man, if you get the right mind in there with an advantage at altitude that you can sort of make your own advantage and tailor it to a certain type of player, or I don't know. I don't know the answers.
Yeah.
But if you had hired a Theo Epstein type or something that could try to figure out an angle here in Colorado, but from the sounds of it, I just don't know if those people were out there. But I also question just how tied in Rockies' leadership is to the rest of the league. That's a relationship part of baseball. That's the underbelly of it, and I just don't know if the Rockies are not only not at the cool table to hire someone like that, but they might be in just a different cafeteria. Let alone that type of table. So, we'll see.
Maybe they need cold general managers like the Denver Nuggets.
Yeah, maybe so.
Bring in somebody that has ties and a different mind as well.
I will choose to go into this with an open mind.
I'm doing the exact same thing. I want to see the Colorado Rockies be good again, competent at least. I just want to see that. So the baseball season has not started. So I'm optimistic about this season until I'm not.
All right. We'll keep telling ourselves that. We're live here from Mile High Station. We're going to walk you up. We're just a few minutes away from our full-blown pregame show starting at the top of the hour. But before we get into that, there could be a real factor in tonight's game on Thursday Night Football that is flying under the radar, and we'll shine some light on it coming up next.
This Veterans Day, Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan needs your help as we look to give back to those who have served their country. Teaming up with Foundation Cadillac, Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan is giving away 1 year of free oil changes to one of our state's many veterans. To nominate a current or former service member, head to denversports.com/veteran. That's denversports.com/veteran. To all our nation's veterans, we at Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan thank you for your service. Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan.
Hey guys, Mark Schlereth here from my friends at Cudarelli Vision. I wore glasses for a long time, but when I started needing reading glasses to see menus, text, read stats, to see my computer, I decided to go to Dr. Cudarelli at Cudarelli Vision for refractive lens exchange. It was a game changer for me, and it could be for you too. Join Dr. Cudarelli for his live webinar November 12th at noon to learn about refractive lens exchange from Cudarelli Vision. This free webinar is the perfect opportunity to meet Dr. Cudarelli and have him answer all your questions about RLE, like what is refractive lens exchange? How is it different from LASIK or EVO ICL? Why can't you develop a cataract after RLE? Cudarelli Vision is Colorado's most experienced with over 90,000 vision correction procedures. He can tell you when it's your right time for RLE, like he did me. So register for the webinar at coloradorle.com. It's November 12th at noon. coloradorle.com.
After a car accident, you might wonder, do I really need a lawyer? But at Postman Law, we go beyond the courtroom. We're your single point of contact for insurance, medical bills, and doctors. Get the outcome you deserve without the headache.
Call 844-POSTMAN, attorney advertising.
The right financial strategies can make a huge difference, especially if you're nearing retirement. Adam Muller talks retirement strategies with Mile High Money. Saturday mornings at 8 on Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan.
Brandon Stokely here from my team, ROX, Rocks Heating and Air. Are you ready for winter? Worries you might need a new furnace? Don't know where to begin? Rocks Heating and Air makes it incredibly easy with their new, free, no obligation online heating and cooling quote. It takes less than 5 minutes and gives you options instantly. No calls, no waiting, and transparent pricing. Only at ROX, Rocks Heating and Air. Now play that jingle.
HVAC service, installation, repair. ROX, Rocks Heating and Air.
Colorado's favorite appliance store is celebrating huge savings during our Black Friday sale going on now.
Hi, I'm Brad Barnett, president of Mountain High Appliance.
Craft your dream kitchen and save up to $4,400 on select KitchenAid appliance packages. Enjoy a special financing and our price match guarantee with exclusive offers you won't find at big box stores. Visit us today and experience the difference. When you think appliances, think Mountain High Appliance.
Mountain High Appliance, your favorite appliance store.
Thank you.
Point Pios! Denver Volleyball is having a record-setting year so far. Don't miss the action in Hamilton Gym this season. Check out Denver Volleyball at DenverPioneers.com. Pick a match, grab some friends, and cheer on the Pioneers. We are affordable and fun. We are Denver's home for college sports.
Hellsberg gifts checked off the list. Now, time for wrapping. Earrings for Mom. A gold bracelet to match the rings Danielle wears every day. And for Dad, a new watch, because we all know he needs one. All right, this is going to be a good one.
Our favorite things for your favorite people. Shop in store at Hellsberg.com for up to 50% off.
Who wants the lowest rate for life?
I do.
I do. Everyone does, but it's only U.S. Mortgages. Lock in a low rate today, and if rates fall in the future, we will redo your loan and lower your rate without any lender fees, including the appraisal. There's no limit to the number of times you can do this. Always have the lowest rate for life. Get our 475 5-year fixed rate, 5.89 APR. Call 303-LOW-RATE or online at usmloan.com.
All loans subject to approval and change. See website for complete details. License number 392126.
Heads up, pros. Now's your chance to unlock deeper savings. The Home Depot's new Pro Extra Preferred pricing can help you save thousands on the products your business uses the most. But the current benefit ends November 15th. Don't miss out. Registration for the new program is free and easy. Just bring your tax ID or business or contractor's license to the Pro Desk. Register now to lock in the best wholesale prices before it's too late.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game and the go-to spot for football season with wall-to-wall TVs, hearty eats, ice-cold drinks, and of course, those scenic views. It's a full-on experience whether you're catching college or pro games this season. Twin Peaks. Eats, drinks, scenic views.
Stay up to date on the Broncos with our 9 News Broncos insider Mike Kliss. Presented by Fitness Gallery. Hear the latest from every practice and every game every single week during football season. Denver Sports 104.3. The Fan. Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan presents The Drive with Zach By and Phillip Lindsay.
All right, appreciate Jake Shapiro jumping on with us and giving us the lowdown on the new Rockies hire.
Giving us the truth, huh?
Leading their baseball operation. Yeah, I mean, there's a couple different ways to look at it, and I certainly understand Jake's, outlook and not giving them the benefit of the doubt because they have not earned the benefit of the doubt. So I get it. Dante back there in the studio, do you have any thought on this? You're a massive baseball guy. You follow the Rockies very closely. Any thought here that you want to share?
Yeah, I mean, this guy hasn't been the most successful since leaving the Oakland A's. And, even the Oakland A's, people would argue, wasn't crazy successful based on what he did. There's a lot of baseball people out there that would argue, all the Moneyball stuff was great, but you also had 3 of the best pitchers in the MLB at that point. You had the Cy Young winner. You had the MVP. The Cy Young winner and the MVP aren't even really mentioned in the movie at all. So I think I would say it's a long shot for it to actually work out, but, at least they're taking a swing if I'm looking at it optimistically.
It is a big hack. It is a huge swing, and once in a while you'll be watching baseball and you see the guy miss the pitch and he spins around and ends up on one knee. If they miss this pitch, that's the type of swing.
Have you ever seen Signs?
It'll be
they swing away.
Yes,
that's what we're doing right now. We're swinging away, baby.
There's no doubt. Hire someone from the Cleveland Browns. See how it plays out. Bold strategy, Cotton. We'll see how it plays out.
Maybe Shador Sanders is going to play now because the guy's out of the building.
Maybe so. Maybe he'll be in right field at Coors Field next year. All right. Could there be a real factor in tonight's game that's flying a bit under the radar? Andrew Mason wrote about this at DenverSports.com. Bill Vinovich. Bill Vinovich. You may not know the name, but you know the face. I'm talking about the head official.
Oh,
Bill Vinovich and his crew are on the Broncos game.
I had a couple words for old Bill back
Did
in
you?
the day.
Yeah?
I say back in the day, like I'm that old. Yeah. I've talked to him a couple times because he won't throw the damn flag. Quarterback gets hit the hardest I ever seen a quarterback get hit, and he won't throw the flag. It's like, Bill, what are you doing, buddy?
Well, Broncos are 5-11 in the games where Bill Vinovich and his crew are on the game. He and his crew, were also responsible for one of the worst missed calls in NFL history, literally. Everyone remembers, football fans remember the pass interference no call in the 2018 NFC Championship game between Sean Payton's Saints and the Rams.
That actually stopped that Saints team from going to the Super Bowl.
It definitely played a massive role.
They were really good.
Had the penalty been called like the league admitted it should have, New Orleans would have had a 1st and goal from the 6-yard line with Los Angeles in possession of just one timeout. The Saints could have likely drained all but approximately 15 seconds from the clock before kicking a game-winning field goal from Will Lutz. Instead, the field goal happened on the next play. The Rams had plenty of time to mount a game-tying drive and force overtime, and then they won it after an interception from Drew Brees. And I don't want to bring it up, but it was also Bill Vinovich's crew that was officiating the crushing, maybe the most crushing single loss in Broncos history, the divisional round defeat to the Baltimore Ravens in 2013, a game that had a number of controversial calls that even had Tony Dungy at one point tweeting about the game during that game, like, what is happening with these calls? That was Bill Vinovich and his crew. So when playing in Denver, the Broncos are actually 1-6 when Bill Vinovich and his crew are officiating the game. So,
and Sean knows this. Sean already knows it. The players know this. There's one thing that happens every week on the start of the week when you're game planning is you're going to bring up the crew, right? The referees that are going to be officiating the game. You're going to go through everything that they've done, whether it's the pass interferences, whatever the case may be. You're going to hit on that, and you're going to say, hey, guys, look, they're not going to give us a bunch of calls. So we're going to go at so-and-so because we know that they're not going to give them those calls. So there's a game plan even for the referees going into these games of what you should expect and what you can get away with. So I'm pretty sure Sean is not going to be a happy camper when he walks into that stadium and sees old Bill. But it's something that you're going to have to understand. Like we may have to play against the Raiders and possibly the referees again.
Well, here's the kicker, Phil, is that the Broncos are undisciplined as all get out without Bill Vinovich and his crew on the game.
True.
The Broncos have had, and I can't believe this is true, they've had 90 total penalty flags thrown on them in 9 games. That is 10 flags a game.
90.
Now, all those don't get accepted. Sometimes the other team doesn't want the Broncos' help and they decline them. But, I mean, that's unbelievable. 90 flags in 9 games. That's the second most in all of the NFL. 658 yards in penalties is the single highest number in penalty yardage in all of pro football. So you have that dynamic plus the Bill Vinovich dynamic. Not great.
I'm fearing that maybe not this game because we're just better than the Raiders, but at some point the penalties are going to come back and bite us in the butt when we're playing against the Chargers again or Green Bay or should I say the Kansas City Chiefs, where everybody's going to be upset talking about how Kansas City's cheating and all that. No, we're just an undisciplined football team, and we've been getting these penalties every single game. We're averaging 10 penalties a game. It has to stop. It must stop, or it's going to hurt us down the line, whether it's against Kansas City or, hey, we're in the playoffs, and you end up getting a bunch of penalties that hurt you, and now you lose a game because of it.
All right, we are live from Mile High Station. We're going to walk you up to kickoff on Thursday Night Football. It's Broncos, it's Raiders, and why the first quarter may be more important than the fourth quarter tonight. We'll talk about that coming up next.
Can Bo Nix escape Mad Max Crosby? How should Vance Joseph defend against Brock Bowers? Zach By and Phillip Lindsay will break it all down in a special Thursday night edition of the Fan Football Pregame Show, live on game day from Mile High Station. Presented by Modelo. Denver Sports 104.3. The Fan.
Broncos country, football season is in full swing. Whether you're bundling up at Empower Field or heading to Boulder to cheer on Coach Prime and the Buffs, make sure you get there on time and in style. Let my friends at Hermes Worldwide tackle the traffic and parking hassles for you, and all you need to do is sit back, relax, stay warm, and enjoy the ride while they get you to and from the game safely, so you can focus on the important stuff, like watching your favorite team stack those wins or making as many memories as possible with your loved one and friends. All you need to do is call Hermes Worldwide today at 303-577-7600 or visit ridehermes.com/DenverSports to book your next ride today.
Black Friday is going on now at every AutoNation store. Hurry in and save for a limited time. Buy with $0 down. Plus, make no payments till next year. Shop new and used cars, trucks, SUVs, even top luxury models. Drive with $0 down. Plus, no payments till next year. Save your cash for the holidays. Go to your nearest AutoNation store now. Limited term financing on approved credit. 90-day deferred payment. Interest accrues from date of purchase. See store for details.
Hey, Brandon Stokely here. Colorado Joint Replacement is part of Advent Health, one of the nation's largest healthcare providers. They offer innovative hip and knee replacement surgery with expert, compassionate care. To schedule an appointment, visit coloradojoint.org.
More than a few of our patients have talked to me about their first time, but it's not the first time you're probably thinking about. It's the first time that erectile dysfunction ruined the moment. This is Jeff for the Rocky Mountain Men's Clinic, and if you're over 50, it's likely you've had that first time yourself. But the good news is that if you're like most men, that first time can be the last time that ED impacts your sex life. At the Rocky Mountain Men's Clinic, we're experts in treating ED. We've treated tens of thousands of men using protocols with success rates well over 90%. And those treatments have, in most cases, made sex great again for both them and their partners. You could even find that you're performing like you haven't in years. So if ED has been affecting your intimacy, it's time to make the last time that happens the last time that happens. For just $99, you'll receive blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. Call 720-440-7900 or go to RockyMountainMen'sClinic.com. We have 5 offices across the Front Range to serve you.
Hey guys, Mark Schlereth here from my friends at Xfinity. Imagine all that could happen in 5 years. Jobs may change, kids are going to grow, new memes will come out, but also, what if you had reliable, intelligent Wi-Fi and the price didn't change for 5 years? Well, thanks to Xfinity 5-year price guarantee, you actually don't have to worry about that part of your future. You're guaranteed 5 years of Wi-Fi that boosts speeds to your devices that need them the most, that finds and fixes any issues before you even notice them. It's like a super intelligent Wi-Fi that keeps you protected from threats online. Plus, you get incredible gaming speeds on multiple devices with no one battling for bandwidth. For the next 5 years, all your devices are going to be working in perfect harmony, and you get our best equipment with no annual contracts, no fees, no strings attached. So even though your kids will grow up and you still won't understand what 6-7 means, your internet will stay sharp, reliable, and most importantly, the price will stay put. All with the Xfinity 5-year price guarantee. Lock in your price and unlock the possibilities. Xfinity, imagine that. Restrictions apply. Select plans only.
At 303 Law 4040, we know getting into an accident stinks, and so does getting worked over by the insurance company or even your slick-talking made-for-TV lawyer. So if we can help, just give us a call. 303 Law 4040. Save that number in your phone. You never know when you're going to need it. That's 303 Law 4040.
Hi, I'm Terrell Davis, 2-time world champion and Pro Football Hall of Famer. There is nothing more important than your health. That's why I've made the smart move to invest in fitness equipment with Fitness Gallery. It's a game changer. I have a true treadmill at home. It's the smoothest and quietest I've ever been on.
Football is here, and Fitness Gallery's fall football sale is your playbook for a winning home gym. Save up to 50% off on select premium equipment. Visit any of our 7 stores from Denver to Fort Collins and score big before the sale ends.
Questions about youth or high school sports? Positive Coaching Alliance can help. PCA, a national nonprofit organization, develops better athletes and better people through youth and high school sports. Info at positivecoach.org.
This segment on 104.3 The Fan is brought to you by Twin Peaks. Eats, drinks, scenic views.
KKFN and KKFN HD1 Longmont, Denver. You're listening to Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan. Live from Mile High Station, it's the Fan Football Pregame Show on Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan. Presented by Modelo. Previewing today's matchup, here's The Drive with Zach By and Phillip Lindsay.
Broncos and Raiders in prime time. Man, it doesn't get much more fun than this as we are live from Mile High Station looking at probably, 400 to 500 Bronco fans sitting in front of us and upstairs. A really, really cool game day environment.
Oh, we only just begun. There's getting ready to be so many Denver Bronco fans in here, it's not even funny, which is good to see, man. Just
great.
Being out here with the fans, and as I always say, it's like I was always getting ready for the games, so I didn't get to see the build-up, the experience, and just have fun. I was the fun. Everybody got to go out there and watch. I was the entertainment. Now I get to be on the other side of it, which is I can just sit back, relax, cuss the TV out, and have fun.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. I love it. You've walked in both shoes now. Tonight, I said going to the last break why the first quarter should be, and hopefully more important than the fourth quarter. This has been such a slow starting team, and it's been really painful to watch here. We're going on months of watching the same sort of dynamic, and it almost feels like, we were talking about the Nuggets earlier, and I said, I feel like I'm watching the same game over and over again with Christian Brown.
Yeah.
Or excuse me, not Christian Brown, Cam Johnson. And
you've hyped up, so I'm waiting for it.
Oh, and it'll come. I have no doubts. Cam Johnson's going to figure it out. Him making or missing shots is not going to define his Nuggets experience. He'll figure it out. But it is frustrating while we're living through it and watching each of the 7 games one at a time, and you are excited about a player, and he's not hitting shots. It feels that way to a degree with the Broncos, where it's like, oh, I know this movie. They start slow. They have to storm back. More oftentimes than not, they do actually storm back and get it done, but they give me a heart attack in the meantime. And so tonight, when you have a 2-6 Raiders team coming off an overtime loss, then turning around on a short week in altitude, I think if you jump on this team early, you can be in the driver's seat from start to finish. But if you give them hope, they have not quit on Pete Carroll. If you give them hope, this could take all 4 quarters.
Exactly. I always say start fast, finish strong. Coach Mike McIntyre used to tell us that all the time. We must start fast now. We know the defense is going to do their part. But offensively, can we sustain a drive early? I don't want to do the fourth quarter comebacks and the excitement that comes with it. I'm good with that. We've done that already multiple times. Now, I want to be able to see an offense that goes out there, can drive down the football field. It doesn't always have to be a touchdown. It just needs to be points. Get a couple field goals, but at some point, do get some touchdowns. Get into some type of rhythm. Get everybody involved. You know you don't have Marvin Mims here. So now, Troy Franklin, Pat Bryant, you guys step up. Cortland Sutton, can we get more than one catch? Right? There's certain things that we need to do better. In order to do that, you have to stay on that football field, and it comes down to Sean Payton in the play calling sheet and Bo Nix. All right? You have a Raiders team that's not going to blitz you as much as the Houston Texans did. They're going to play zone, though. So you have to pick the zone apart. Stay in the pocket, set your feet, make the right throws, all right, make the right decisions, even when if it means running with your legs. Sustain those drives, and that's how you're going to get these points going. That's how you're going to get the fans, the home fans, involved more, and it's going to help the defense out, and that's how you're going to win the damn game.
In your opinion, this is a 2-6 football team with the Raiders.
Yeah.
You know what their last 2 home games, their last 2 road games have looked like? 31-0 at Kansas City, 31-zip, and 40-6 at Indy. Even the Colorado Buffaloes are like, damn.
I'm glad I'm not them. Oh, man, why you have to do that?
I'm sorry. Do style points matter in any way, shape, or form to you?
No, I don't care about style points. I just want to win the ball game.
Yeah, okay.
I just want to go there, all right, or I want them to come here and feel our wrath, all right. But if we don't put up 30 points, I don't care. by the end of this game, I want to be able to have a win in the win column, and let's go 8-2. That's all that matters. Now, of course, I want to see the offense do better than what they have been doing, which I think it's coming today. It's against a bad team, a 2-6 team with the Raiders. But I don't care if this game is closer than people want it to be. Just win it. Just win it, and let's move on, get ready for the Kansas City Chiefs.
Yep, I agree. Style points for where this offense has been. Now, I would love to see it.
Yeah,
I mean,
sure.
we'd be rooting it on like crazy. But I don't think that can be the expectation coming into these games, considering how the Broncos offense has looked here. And I'm hopeful, but it is on my radar, like, what is the focus level of this football team? You know, this is a team that has not been in a position like all too often anyway, like they're in tonight, where you are literally the biggest favorite in pro football this week. This team's 2-6. This team, I mean, they just traded away their top receiver.
Yeah.
And so
They seem like they want to throw in the towel.
Yeah, but I can't just again, I'm hopeful that the Broncos focus level is right, but I can't.
Why are you not as confident with that? Why do you feel the way that you feel right now when it comes to the focus level, when the Denver Broncos have a chance to do something that hasn't been done in a very long time? All right, they have a chance to go on a 7-game win streak, be 8-2. All right, have a chance to make even a bigger run in the playoffs by winning these games. Why wouldn't they be focused?
I mean, they should be. There's no doubt about it. You know, I do trust Sean Payton to a certain degree with having these guys focused and ready to go. But again, if it's just an unfamiliar position for you to be in, I can't just assume because I see it happen every single week. You know, I'm pretty convinced that if the Green Bay Packers went into last week's game with the right mindset, they're not trailing at home to Carolina nearly wire to wire. So these guys are human beings, and I think there's natural elements at play. The Raiders are bad. We know that. The Broncos are much better than expected. You're a massive favorite. It's a short week. You have a mini bye coming up ahead of you. You know, there's just some unfamiliarity.
There is. But let's take it into like what we're doing here with our job. What is the one thing you always tell me every time I step foot into this? We're at Mile High Station right now, but when we go into our own little world, all right, and we're battling for these ratings, and we may have a good week, you always tell me, hey, the job's not done, right? Like stay where your feet are. We got to continue to go. Like, we're not satisfied because we have an ultimate goal. No matter if you have a good week, a good month, 2 good months, it's not good enough.
Right.
So we always come in there with that mindset of we have to finish, we have to focus, which now for me, I'm always locked in. I'm always ready to go. I'm always preparing because I know you're going to be prepared. That's how I feel about the Denver Broncos right now. They're having success. They don't want this ride to end. When you're winning, it's hard to win in this league. And so when you're winning, you want to continue to win. It just feels good. When you go home to your wife and your kids, it feels good. When you come into the building knowing that you don't have to walk on eggshells, it feels good. And you don't want that feeling to end. Just like with our job, we don't want this feeling to ever end.
Right. No, and I hope
That's
you're
how
right.
I think of it.
No, and I really hope you're right. And I do think that this is where, I go back to the summer. I go back to the summer.
The hot days.
It was July and August, and I said the same thing repeatedly during training camp. And I said there is a seriousness about this group. There is a seriousness about this group. They are a mature group. They are a focused group. I said they reminded me in the preseason anyway of the 2022 Colorado Avalanche, where it was just a collection of adults that had a singular focus to go win a championship.
Is that why you came to camp every day buttoned up with a tie and suit and tie on?
I did not come with a suit and tie, but I did dress up a little bit
weather?
more. I did. I tried to look like a respectable professional, try to balance out how you were coming in. Just trying to balance out the show.
Hey, nothing wrong with sweatpants.
but I go back. He's saying that repeatedly. There's a seriousness about this group because if that same seriousness has persisted in the way that I would hope it has, they should take care of business tonight. They really should.
Taking care of business. That's what it's all about. They have a song like that, right? Taking care of business every day.
Yeah, that's a BTO, Bachman Turner Overdrive.
So maybe they need to bump that before they walk out. Just handle business. You're going to have 4 or 5 days off. My guessing is 4 days off after this. You have a huge game coming up, but until you get to that huge game, handle the business that's in front of you. Keep this thing going, the train chugging along and winning these games, because winning is fun.
I love it. Dante, if we could bump back in with taking care of business, would love that. Rock and roll, Brian, you remember that? Our engineer. How did that go? You wake up on time just to get to work by 9 and to start the slaving job to get your pay. Yeah. There's a whistle up above and people pushing, people shoving, and I forget the rest of it. But anyway, we could play that maybe coming back. Taking care of business tonight against a Raiders team. Okay, what should we expect from this defense tonight, going up against Geno Smith and someone who I believe is the best at their position in the world? That's next.
The Fan Flyaway is back, presented by 303 Law 4040. Save that number in your phone. You never know when you're going to need it. To kick off 2026, Denver Sports 1043 The Fan is sending you to Phoenix for the biggest party in golf. Airfare, hotel tickets, and $500 in spending money, all included. Head to thefanflyaway.com to register. That's thefanflyaway.com. Denver Sports 1043 The Fan.
If you're 55 or older and into that whole saving money thing, T-Mobile has an exclusive phone and internet bundle just for you. Right now, get 2 unlimited phone lines plus 5G home internet for just $30 each per month with autopay, plus taxes and fees. And with 5G home internet, setup is easy with just 1 cord and no technician needed, which is great if you're also into that whole keeping it simple thing. Switch now and experience the best mobile network in the U.S. Visit your local store to start saving. T-Mobile, it's better over here. Based on analysis by Ookla of Speed Test Intelligence data Q4 2024 to Q1 2025. Ookla trademarks used under license. Unlimited on our network. Customers on voice plan may notice speeds lower than other customers and further reduction if using more than 50 gigs a month due to data prioritization. Video streams and SD on this plan. Home internet pricing after $20 a monthly bill credit plus $5 per line without autopay. Debit or bank account required. See 5G device coverage and access details at tmobile.com.
All right. Happy Thursday. Phillip Lindsay here. And you know what? I have an obsession I want to talk about, and that's with Daisy's French Onion Dip. One of my guilty pleasures during football season is sitting back, relaxing, eating dips with chips, wings, and veggies while watching any big-time game. And guess what? Now that Daisy's has come out with a delicious Daisy French Onion Dip, along with a Daisy Ranch Dip, these are definitely game changers that you're not going to want to miss out on. They're as delicious as a homemade dip, and they're made with real herbs and spices and other ingredients that you can find in your own kitchen. So if you want to be blown away just like I was, then give Daisy's French Onion Dip a try today. You can find Daisy's French Onion Dip at a grocery store near you.
Peyton Manning here. Throughout my football career, staying healthy was a big priority, but bumps, bruises, and injuries were part of the game. And for me, it's not just the clinical excellence and expertise that sets a medical team apart. It's also the compassion, kindness, and empathy they show. At Common Spirit Health, healing is quality care and human kindness. And my friends at Common Spirit are teaming up with their partners to spread human kindness and create healthy communities. Common Spirit Health. Hello, human kindness.
Hey, what's up, guys? It's Zach here. Thinking about buying a home in Colorado? You're not the only one, and now might be your best shot. We're officially in a buyer's market, which means you've got the upper hand. More homes are on the market, competition is down, and serious deals are out there just waiting to be found. Whether you're a first-time buyer or looking to upgrade or downsize, now's the time to get pre-approved, and American Financing can make it happen in 24 hours or less. Interest rates are competitive, and home prices have been stable. That means you can find a great deal while locking in a monthly payment that fits your budget. Plus, with home equity building over time, your investment grows, making home ownership a smart, long-term financial decision. If you continue to pay rent, you're just paying your landlord's mortgage, and you don't need 20% down. You could be in your new home with as little as 3% down. Plus, they're offering down payment assistance programs to make home ownership even easier. Call American Financing at 303-695-7000 or visit them online at americanfinancing.net. NMLS 182334, NMLSconsumeraccess.org.
Hi, I'm Lexi, your friend and jeweler at Shane Company. If you're planning to propose this holiday, we're ready to make creating your engagement ring a warm, welcoming experience. At Shane Company, we're all about your style, your budget, your dream engagement ring. Explore the widest selection of diamonds and ring settings ready for you to see in person, or visit us at shaneco.com. You'll have your ring in days, not weeks. Our friendly jewelry consultants don't work on commission. There's never any pressure, just perfect proposals. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
I'm Brad Barnett, president of Mountain High Appliance. Visit our Denver Clearance Center during our Black Friday sale going on now. Save up to 75% on name brand appliances like Whirlpool, KitchenAid, GE and Bosch. With unbeatable prices on top quality appliances, now is the perfect time to upgrade your home. Don't miss out on these exclusive deals. Visit us today at the Denver Clearance Center. When you think appliances, think Mountain High Appliance. Open 7 days a week.
Mountain High Appliance, your favorite appliance store.
Thank you. Most people don't think about their garage door until it stops working. Hi, I'm Tommy Mello, owner of Don's Garage Door Service. A noisy garage door is a cry for help. Most repairs are simple, but if left untreated, they can turn into costly repairs. Your garage door works hard every day, and a little maintenance goes a long way. We fix garage doors fast with quality parts designed to last a lifetime. There's never a good time for your garage door to break, whether you're rushing to work or you're trying to get the kids to school. We know how much you rely on your garage door. That's why we offer same-day repairs, because life doesn't wait, and neither should you. Over 90,000 five-star reviews don't happen by accident. They happen by putting people first. Fixing your garage door is what we do, but making your life easier and your home safer is why we do it. Families trust us because we deliver, and we'd be honored to earn your trust too. From repairs to upgrades, call Don's Garage Door Service today.
Dan Jacobs with 303 Law 4040. With just a friendly tip here, I like to remind people that they never want to be gambling that the person that hits them has good insurance. So I want you to take a look at your insurance policies. Check and make sure that you have two things. One's called MedPay coverage. You want to make sure you have that. And then also UM/UIM coverage. This will protect you in case you get into an accident and the person that hits you doesn't have good insurance. If you have any questions, just give me a call. 303 Law 4040. That's 303 Law 4040.
Hey, bro, weirdest thing is happening at the game. This guy sitting next to me says, "You're our good luck charm." Every time I crack a Bud Light, we score a touchdown. Now his entire family wants to buy me Bud Lights. I think I'm some kind of a football prophet. Talk soon. The team needs me.
Anything for Bud Light, the official beer sponsor of the NFL. Stock up today. Enjoy responsibly. Copyright 2025 Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
This segment on 104.3 The Fan is brought to you by ROX, Rocks Heating and Air.
Joel Klatt, the nation's leading voice in college football, joins Stokely and Evans with Mark Schlereth every Wednesday morning. Presented by Groove Toyota.
Here we go.
Tune in at 8:10 for exclusive insight, bold analysis, and maybe just a hint of shenanigans. Denver Sports 104.3. The Fan. Live from Mile High Station, it's the Fan Football Pregame Show on Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan. Presented by Modelo. Previewing today's matchup, here's The Drive with Zach By and Phillip Lindsay.
All right. Oh, there it is. Thank you, Dante Gomez. Back in the studio, playing, taking care of business for the Raiders here, who are coming into town, and the Broncos got to take care of some of that business. All right, and we are at Mile High Station taking care of our business here, walking you up to kickoff between Broncos and Raiders. And, man, the place is jumping right now. Incredible environment, pregame atmosphere as Phillip Lindsay signing autographs left and right.
All I'm hearing as people walk by, it's MVP, MVP.
Isn't that cool? Like, there has actually been a few people to come by and do that for the Nuggets media game.
Oh, I'm like, well, Jokic isn't here. And they're like, no, Zach. Oh, no disrespect.
That is pretty funny.
MVP.
Oh, man, I'll tell you what, we have the best listeners. I would not trade it for any other collection of human beings in other market than right here in Denver, Colorado. Hey, what should we expect from this defense tonight? Going up against Geno Smith and someone who I believe is the very best at their position in the entire world. If you are starting a football team like fantasy draft style, and you have to you have the first pick of tight ends, I think Brock Bowers is going number 1, and I don't have to think too hard about it.
No, I mean, for Brock Bowers, Zach, it's like he's a guy that you didn't expect to just come into the league and just take over. Now, maybe it's his haircut and he's bald now because he had a receding hairline, or maybe it's because he's just that damn good. And there's a lot of times where people, and yourself included, said, hey, look, at the tight end position, it's a slow starting position, but not for Brock Bowers.
Not for Brock, no.
Denver Bronco defense, the number one thing you have to take away is Brock Bowers. I don't care how you do it, but make sure Brock Bowers is not a part of this game plan. If they're going to beat you, they're going to beat you with some no-name people. And I don't want to be disrespectful, but because they got rid of Jacoby Myers, there's not a lot of weapons out there other than the running back position with Ashton Genty. And we know what that can be like if the Denver Broncos defense can just be stout. They're going to stop the run and force Geno Smith to beat him with his arms, which right now with Geno Smith, he's a guy that he wants to pick you apart. He's not going to throw deep downfield all day. He wants to keep everything out in front of him and just kind of mosey on down the field. So I'm expecting this Denver defense to take the training wheels off of Jahdae Barron and Chris Abrams-Drain and say, hey, look, you're a part of this defense. We're going to go man. And we're going to bring pressure on Geno Smith because Geno Smith does not want to run. He wants to stay in the pocket and try to beat a team with his arm, not with his legs. So I can see the Denver defense and Vance Joseph, the defensive coordinator, dialing up a bunch of blitzes at home. Nick Bonito, Jonathan Cooper getting to Geno Smith, making it hard on him, and just being aggressive, Zach.
Well, in terms of Bowers, and I got some numbers on Smith here I want to share in a second, but in terms of Bowers, and to your point, I have really emphasized that during my time here in Denver over the last better part of a decade, and really started hammering it home because of after the Noah Fant draft pick. When you go back and look through NFL history, it is just a historically slow starting position. Kyle Pitts was the first 1,000-yard tight end rookie since Mike Ditka in 1969. I mean, we went decades. Brock Bowers shows up a year ago, 112 receptions, NFL rookie record, 1,194 yards, NFL rookie record. He's coming off a game. He was missing because of injury. He comes back. He's coming off a game where he goes for 127 yards and not one, not two, but 3 touchdowns. I mean, the dude is a freak. And, you know, if I have a fear going into tonight, it's that we're all walking away from this game saying, man, we didn't think we could appreciate Pat Surtain more than we do. But, man, no one could contain Bowers. Like, that's the fear because PS2 is like almost like the prototype for slowing a guy like Bowers down. So we'll see what it looks like. And then in terms of Geno Smith, I want to give some stats to add some flesh to what you just described. Because you said Geno Smith wants to move more methodically down the field. You're on it. The stats say it as well. Smith has targeted receivers under 10 yards on 70% of his passes this season. That's the 3rd highest rate in the NFL. So very Bo Nix-like, actually, with passes closer to the line of scrimmage. When he tries to push it downfield, he has struggled and struggled mightily. He's completing just 38% of his passes of more than 10 yards down the field. That's the 4th lowest mark in professional football. And his 8 interceptions downfield are tied for the most in the NFL as well.
Yeah, when you look at and think of Geno Smith, he's a game manager, a guy that you can count on, very smart. One thing about Geno is he's going to always put himself in good situations by checking to certain plays or checking the offensive lineman saying, hey, we want you to move a certain way. He did it against Jacksonville. And the center was like, hey, we're going to mic 52, which means usually the center is going to take that number 52. Geno corrects him, says, no, let 52 go because I know there's a blitz coming from a different direction. So for the Denver defense, you have to understand you're going up against a smart quarterback, a veteran-savvy quarterback that's going to know what he's doing. but you just got to get home to him. You have to be aggressive. He does not want to run. He wants to get the ball out of his hands fast, try to take shots if you're going to let him. That's not going to work. So just hit Geno Smith early and often and try to get a turnover. We got to get more turnovers on that piece of paper on the stat sheet for this dominant Denver defense.
Well, a name to keep an eye on if the Broncos are going to get beat tonight. If they're going to get beat deep, it will likely be from Trey Tucker, who has speed. All right, and like Jacoby Myers has been the traditional number one receiver, but he hasn't been this year.
Yeah.
Trey Tucker's leading that team in receiving, and I remember it was not too long ago, earlier this season, late September, watching him go for 145 yards and 3 touchdowns against Washington. So he's capable. He doesn't profile as a normal, typical, number one receiver, but he is a capable receiver. So if there's someone who's underrated on this offense from Vegas, it's Trey Tucker, who was a star at Cincinnati when Cincinnati was the first ever Group of 5 team to go to the college football playoff. Trey Tucker was one of their true dudes there for the Bearcats.
So my guessing is Riley Moss may be following Tucker just because you don't want to trust Chris Evans-Dre or put him in a bad situation, or Jahdae Barron if he's out there first. Go with Riley Moss because they don't have a bunch of weapons. They got Ashton Genty, Brock Bowers, Tucker being their top receiver, their speedster. So I would
makes sense.
Go man on Tucker with Riley Moss, who's our cornerback one, y'all, and then keep all eyes on Ashton Genty, of course, with the run game. The run game can control the game, control the clock if you can run the ball. And then Brock Bowers, you don't want to get that man going.
Here's just one quick stat on Genty before we move on. He has forced 46 missed tackles, third most in the NFL and most by a rookie through 9 weeks since Dameon Pierce in 2022. So off to a pretty good start. Not a great situation, but off to a pretty good start personally. All right, there's been one player developing in real time on the Broncos offense, but not necessarily in the way we may have thought. We'll talk about this player coming up next.
Will the Broncos avoid the trap game and earn their first divisional win of the season? Will Bo Nix and Evan Ingram finally get on the same page? We'll break it all down in the Fan Football Postgame Show, live on game day starting at the 2-minute warning. Denver Sports 104.3. The Fan.
Black Friday is going on now at every AutoNation store. Hurry in and save for a limited time. Buy with 0 down. Plus, make no payments till next year. Shop new and used cars, trucks, SUVs, even top luxury models. Drive with 0 down. Plus, no payments till next year. Save your cash for the holidays. Go to your nearest AutoNation store now. Limited term financing on approved credit. 90-day deferred payment. Interest accrues from date of purchase. See store for details.
Brandon Stokely from my friends at Roller Auction, leader in Colorado auctions for over 40 years. They conduct over 150 auctions every year, selling tens of thousands of items at the price you set. Auctions are held regularly for Colorado government agencies, and they always have big-ticket items at great prices. That's why I love Roller Auction. And almost all bidding is conducted online in real time, and it's open to the public. Anyone can participate. Check back regularly. New auctions are added weekly. Be the first to know about new auctions available for bidding when you sign up for email notifications. Go to rollerauction.com/thefan.
Hellsberg gifts checked off the list. Now, time for wrapping. Earrings for mom. A gold bracelet to match the rings Danielle wears every day. And for dad, a new watch, because we all know he needs one. All right, this is going to be a good one.
Our favorite things for your favorite people. Shop in store at Hellsberg.com for up to 50% off.
Hey guys, boy Steve here today about my long-term buddy Troy Hansford. If you're thinking about selling your house for any reason, now might be the time to sell, still get top dollar. Believe it or not, my guy Troy is still offering his $5,000 guarantee. What is it, you ask? Well, if you can't sell your house at your price on your timeline that you agree upon beforehand, bam, going to cut you a check for $5,000. Who else makes the offer? Nobody I've ever heard of, and he makes that offer because he continues to spend a ton of money marketing his listings, has about 100 families approved and ready to buy right now. And if for any reason you need to sell right away, Troy can buy your house all cash and he can close in as little as 7 days. You have a house to sell, Troy probably has that perfect buyer for you right now, waiting for you to pick up the phone and to call him. Call Troy, get your home sold for the most money. That's 720-900-4433, 720-900-4433. Troy Hansford of RE/MAX Professionals, a Colorado licensed broker. Some restrictions do apply. Want to sell your house? Then call my buddy Troy, 720-900-4433.
Join Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan in Modelo at Mile High Station on Thursday, November 6th from 4 to 6:15 p.m. for the Fan Football Pregame Show. Get your head in the game with orange and blue face painting and ice-cold Modelo. Modelo, brewed for full-time fans.
Hey, what's up, guys? It's Zach here for 5280 Exteriors. Receive $1,000 off every 10 windows you purchase and receive a $100 grocery gift card to contribute to your Thanksgiving festivities. 5280 Exteriors, the altitude of quality.
Progressive presents a testimonial of sorts.
Hey, slow down!
Oh, yeah? Well, you drive like my grandma. She's a very attentive and courteous driver who wears a seatbelt and always uses her turn signals. She's also a talented painter and has very low cholesterol. Not that that has anything to do with her driving, just thought a more complete picture of who she is might be interesting. Anyway, have a nice day.
Safe driver? Get Snapshot from Progressive and get a personalized rate based on how you drive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Snapshot not available in California or from all agents. Surcharge possible for unsafe driving.
Keeping your engines healthy means protecting them in season and out. Experts trust Stable to do that, and third-party testing confirms it. Stable is the industry leader in preventing fuel-related issues, no matter if you use it in your car, boat, or outdoor power equipment. In season or out, at every fill-up or when you store, start with Stable.
Confidence is knowing you're ready to handle whatever comes your way. That's what it feels like to take on your workday with Cintas. They make sure your AEDs are up to date, your fire extinguishers are tested and inspected, your floor mats are cleaned and delivered, and your workwear looks good, feels good, and is freshly laundered with the Cintas Apparel Plus program. So are you ready to take on today? Visit Cintas.com.
Oh, I'm ready!
And get ready for the workday.
Smarter clean in half the time. Brought to you by Swiffer Power Mop. Tired of the mop and bucket struggle? The Swiffer Power Mop gives you a mop and bucket clean without all the extra work. It's an all-in-one cleaning tool that mops smarter, not harder. With built-in solution that breaks down dirt and grime. And a pad with over 300 scrubbing strips to absorb and lock sticky messes. It even gets into places a regular mop can't. And leaves your home smelling fresh for hours. Try the Swiffer Power Mop today. Love it or your money back.
You know, it's funny. All the answers to all the questions are right here in front of us. All we have to do is ask ourselves, as human beings, what we ourselves like. This is Glenn Jamrot. I'm president of Alpine Bank, member FDIC. For instance, you like when people care about you. You like when people listen. You like when people understand. Listening, caring, and understanding are keys to happiness. They hold the answers in all our questions. What does any of this have to do with Alpine Bank? After all, aren't all banks the same? No. At Alpine, we are human beings first and bankers second. Banking is what we do, not who we are. Alpine Bank, committed to Colorado, and you.
Live from Mile High Station, it's the Fan Football Pregame Show on Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan. Presented by Modelo. Previewing today's matchup, here's The Drive with Zach By and Phillip Lindsay.
All right, there's been one player on the Broncos offense that is developing in real time on offense, but not necessarily maybe in the way that I would have thought. All right, and I'm talking about young R.J. Harvey, who has 5 touchdowns total in the last 3 weeks, 2 on the ground, 3 receiving. But that's incredible production. Five touchdowns in 3 weeks is, I mean, that's hard to sustain. But
that's where you make your money. All right, everybody remembers. You could be at a game, having fun. Half the fans are going to be drunk, but the thing you're going to remember is the touchdown being made. Maybe your fantasy, you need those points. So it's like that's big when you're able to score touchdowns.
Well, he's got 5 in 3 weeks, but going into week 10, so a pretty healthy sample size of more than half of a season, 44% of Harvey's rushing total has come on 2 carries. 1 in week 1 and 1 against Dallas, the worst defense in pro football, 2 weeks ago. Now, again, I'm not trying to minimize at all because, dude, the name of the game is scoring.
Yeah, you need to score touchdowns.
I mean, you end up in the end zone 5 times in 3 weeks. That's like pretty cool.
So what's wrong then, Mr. Bai? What's on your mind with this?
I still am not seeing Harvey make an impact on a down-to-down, series-by-series, game-to-game basis in the run game. And someone could say, hey, well, he doesn't get opportunities. He doesn't get a lot of them, but the ones that he does get, he just hasn't really maxed out on them. And to illustrate that, you take away the run against the Titans in week 1 and the run against the Cowboys, Harvey doesn't have a rush of even 10 yards.
No doubt. Like, I'm with you on this. When it comes to R.J. Harvey, the reason why you draft a running back in the 2nd round is because he's a running back you can rely on that can do it all. Catch out of the backfield, run in between the tackles, run outside of the tackles. Like, that's what you want from R.J. Harvey, and yet we're not getting it enough. Every once in a while, there's going to be a splash play. In the receiving game, R.J. Harvey has stepped up, and he's been able to score touchdowns. Now, there's context to that, too, because once you get to the red zone, that's all about creativity and also being the guy that they count on or they give you the chance to score that touchdown. And Sean has made it clear that he's going to make sure he gets his rookie going by scoring the touchdowns, which is also an art. It's hard to score in this league. And when you start to have a nose for that end zone, it finds you. And you start finding tricky ways to still score touchdowns. So I wouldn't be surprised, Zach, if R.J. Harvey scores another touchdown tonight.
Yeah, no,
just
it
because
wouldn't surprise me.
Sean Payton making sure that he takes care of his baby. That is still his baby, his draft pick.
Oh, yeah.
And R.J. Harvey has a nose for the end zone as of right now. But it needs to be different when it comes to R.J. Harvey running the ball to help J.K. out. If R.J. Harvey starts to bust off a couple longer runs, it's going to open the doors for J.K. because now you truly have a 1-2 punch that a defense has to come up to and respect. Right now, when R.J. Harvey's in the game, it's like he's going to pass. He's starting to be just like Tyler Bidet. And when J.K.'s in the game, you're not passing to J.K. enough to where it's like, hey, we're going to load the box and try to stop J.K. because if you don't stop the man, he's going to run and average 5 yards a carry or even more.
Yeah, I have little questions about J.K. Dobbins, and we can get back into him at the top of the hour. But first, I listened to every press conference this week, heard Sean Payton talk, heard Vance Joseph, and even Darren Rizzi, and all these guys. I think my favorite clip of the week was the one that you're about to hear from Sutton. Cortland Sutton was asked about young R.J. Harvey, and I thought gave a genuine, elaborate answer, and this is what it sounded like.
RJ's, I think we have a lot of really good young guys, including some of our second-year guys that are making strides this year. But I think we have a lot of really good young guys, especially on the offense side of the ball. RJ's been special, man. It's been a lot of fun watching him go out there and perform. And I'm always messing with him because he's a very smart and humble dude that he doesn't say much. He just kind of goes out there and he's really good at what he does. And it's fun to watch him go out there and perform, but he gets excited when he makes good plays, but he's not like a boastful, young guy. You come across some dudes that may be very boastful about themselves, and he's not that guy. He's very humble. He's very willing to learn and listen to guys around him. Seeing him adhere to some of the stuff that JK is trying to, drop knowledge on him, or some of the other older guys on the offense trying to, whether it's recovery, whether it's, at practice, whatever it may be, he's always willing to learn and listen. And I think, I say it all the time, I think that's one of the best things that you can say about a young guy, somebody that's willing to come in, learn and listen, and be humble about the process of getting to where they want to get to. And, man, RJ's just a fun guy to watch. I was messing with him this morning I said, man, I don't know what kind of program I need to get on. I need to get on the R.J. Harvey program about how, not getting hit. It's something about him getting hit on the sideline. These dudes be trying to come over there and hit him hard on the sideline. He just boom, and bump off them boys. And, I think it's hilarious, him just going out there and being, as sturdy as he is. But RJ's a great man. I'm excited to continue to watch him grow and develop and see where his talents ultimately take him.
He covered a lot of ground there.
He did.
He covered a lot of ground there. But I think my favorite part from my favorite clip of the week is him saying, hey, this is a guy, and I know sometimes young guys are going to be boastful and pound their chest and be loud and maybe have a bit of a lack of awareness sometimes, and that's just young people.
Oh, damn, Zach, why are you looking at me? I wasn't like that.
No, you weren't.
At times.
But not everyone's wired like that.
Yeah.
And the number of people, even in our business, young guys that think they have it figured out and the lack of awareness and they get in their own way. Like, it sounds like R.J. Harvey has the right makeup from the sound from that clip.
Well, I'll tell you this, Zach. In this industry or in the football world, once you think you figured it out, you're going to get humbled, right? Because it's always changing, and you have to change with it. And when you're a rookie like R.J. Harvey, you haven't been around long enough to understand what's really going on in the NFL. So you do need to kind of be quiet and listen. Speak when you have a chance to do that. If not, just sit back and watch, observe.
Yep.
Even in this industry, in this job, it's a lot of, for me, because I'm fairly new to it, it's just sitting back and learning, listening, seeing what's going on, and picking people's brains and getting better every single day. That's what R.J. Harvey seems to be doing. He's getting better every single day. And for Court, I'm proud of Court because now he is the vet. But it's the way that he's looking at his teammates. He was able to have a well-thought-out answer about a rookie, R.J. Harvey, who he's just now starting to learn about.
Right.
But it's about the awareness of a veteran knowing about his young rookie and being able to tell us about him. That means that this team is well put together and the culture in there is in a positive way, a positive manner of just doing things the right way. And you have your veterans that are listening to the rookies and learning about the rookies. And that's going to go a long way. Because even when I was in the building, Zach, I'm not sitting here saying the vets were easy to approach because you had the Von Millers, the Emmanuel Sanders, the Demaryius Thomases, all of them that have done it before. And quite frankly, they didn't want to deal with young guys anymore. They wanted to win. They were at the end of their careers. So you had to do a lot of going up to them and asking them questions. With someone like Cortland, who's still young, although he's a vet, he's still going to approach the rookies and say, hey, what do you guys need? You guys need help. This is what you need to do. This is how you become a pro's pro.
I absolutely love everything about this conversation. Really good stuff, really good sound from Court, and we'll see what R.J. Harvey has in store for his first matchup against the Raiders here on Thursday Night Football. All right, we will go behind enemy lines for a Raiders perspective, all right, from someone who would know. Also, do we have reason to believe that tonight we'll see Bo Nix and the Broncos offense find some consistency? Or do the Raiders have a wrinkle that actually bothers Bo? We'll talk about all of that coming up next.
This Veterans Day, Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan needs your help as we look to give back to those who have served their country. Teaming up with Foundation Cadillac, Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan is giving away 1 year of free oil changes to one of our state's many veterans. To nominate a current or former service member, head to denversports.com/veteran. That's denversports.com/veteran. To all our nation's veterans, we at Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan thank you for your service. Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan.
Hey, what's up, guys? It's Zach here on behalf of the Rocky Mountain Men's Clinic, talking to you men out there about truly one of the most wonderful things in life, intimacy, all right? It's special, okay? But when erectile dysfunction harms intimacy, it can have devastating effects on you, your partner, your relationship, right? The way you see yourself. Oftentimes your partner will begin to blame themselves. Guys, don't let any of that happen. ED is a medical condition, and like most medical conditions, it's treatable. And I'm talking about treatments with success rates well over 90%. Rocky Mountain Men's Clinic has served the Front Range of Colorado for just about a decade, okay? So they're not new. They've successfully treated tens of thousands of men just like you, so I hate to break it to you, you're not that special. ED is actually pretty common. So schedule a consult with Rocky Mountain Men's Clinic today. Your initial visit is only $99. That includes a medical consult with a Colorado licensed medical provider, a T and PSA test, and if medically advised, a test dose. If the test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is completely free. They have an expert staff and 5 locations in Colorado to serve you. So stop living with ED. Call Rocky Mountain Men's Clinic at 720-440-7900 or visit them online at RockyMountainMen'sClinic.com.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game and the go-to spot for football season with wall-to-wall TVs, hearty eats, ice-cold drinks, and of course, those scenic views. It's a full-on experience whether you're catching college or pro games this season. Twin Peaks. Eats, drinks, scenic views.
This is Rob Wilhite of the Wilhite Law Firm. If you've been seriously injured in a truck or car wreck, you want Wilhite. We've been voted Best Personal Injury Law Firm for the last 3 years in a row. Call 303-GOOD-LAW or visit WilhiteWins.com and win big with Wilhite.
For many of us, it's happened before. Your hair is thinning, crowns disappearing. Maybe the hair loss has you feeling your identity is lost altogether. The solution that worked for me, it's an incredible yet simple one-day treatment that starts growing your own natural hair the very next day. And it's guaranteed to grow for life. It's the Advanced FUE from Advanced Hair. We've all seen the pills and lotions that come with monthly subscriptions. They help retain what you have, but what if you want your own natural hair permanently in specific areas? From Advanced Hair's state-of-the-art facilities to world-class Dr. Tanya Paul's, it's not maybe your hair will regrow, it's guaranteed that your new hair will grow. You decide how much, how thick, and where. It's why Advanced Hair is the winner of Westward's Best of Denver. For your free consultation, $250 off and 250 free hair grafts, call 720-459-HAIR. That's 720-459-HAIR or advancedhair.com.
Do you want the lowest rate for life? Get our 4.75 5-year fixed. APR is 5.89.
Did you say 4.75% fixed for 5 years?
Yes.
Yeah, I want that, but what if rates fall?
Our lowest rate for life program takes over. If rates fall even as little as 0.5%, we can redo your loan with no lender fees and no appraisal fee and no limits to the number of times used. Only at U.S. Mortgages. Call 303-LOW-RATE or online at usmloan.com.
All loans subject to approval and change. See website for complete details. License number 392126.
Peyton Manning here. Throughout my football career, staying healthy was a big priority, but bumps, bruises, and injuries were part of the game. And for me, it's not just the clinical excellence and expertise that sets a medical team apart. It's also the compassion, kindness, and empathy they show. At Common Spirit Health, healing is quality care and human kindness. And my friends at Common Spirit are teaming up with their partners to spread human kindness and create healthy communities. Common Spirit Health. Hello, human kindness.
Hey guys, Mark Schlereth here for my friends at Cutarelli Vision. I wore glasses for a long time, but when I started needing reading glasses to see menus, text, read stats, to see my computer, I decided to go to Dr. Cutarelli at Cutarelli Vision for refractive lens exchange. It was a game changer for me, and it could be for you too. Join Dr. Cutarelli for his live webinar November 12th at noon to learn about refractive lens exchange from Cutarelli Vision. This free webinar is the perfect opportunity to meet Dr. Cutarelli and have him answer all your questions about RLE, like what is refractive lens exchange? How is it different from LASIK or EVO ICL? Why can't you develop a cataract after RLE? Cutarelli Vision is Colorado's most experienced with over 90,000 vision correction procedures. He can tell you when it's your right time for RLE, like he did me. So register for the webinar at coloradorle.com. It's November 12th at noon. coloradorle.com.
Black Friday is going on now at every AutoNation store. Hurry in and save for a limited time. Buy with $0 down. Plus, make no payments till next year. Shop new and used cars, trucks, SUVs, even top luxury models. Drive with $0 down. Plus, no payments till next year. Save your cash for the holidays. Go to your nearest AutoNation store now. Limited term financing on approved credit. 90-day deferred payment. Interest accrues from date of purchase. See store for details.
Questions about youth or high school sports? Positive Coaching Alliance can help. PCA, a national nonprofit organization, develops better athletes and better people through youth and high school sports. Info at positivecoach.org.
Get ready for every Broncos game with Super Bowl 50 champion Brandon Marshall as he joins the drive every Friday afternoon at 4:45 exclusively on Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan. Thanks to Corwin Toyota Boulder. Denver Sports, 104.3 The Fan, DenverSports.com, and the Denver Sports app. Live from Mile High Station, it's the Fan Football Pregame Show on Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan. Presented by Modelo. Previewing today's matchup, here's The Drive with Zach By and Phillip Lindsay.
All right, rolling downhill here on a Thursday, and this is no ordinary Thursday. It's Broncos, it's Raiders, it's prime time Thursday night football.
Let's go, baby!
And hanging out with Phillip Lindsay here at Mile High Station in front of probably, 600 Bronco fans crammed in here, all eating and drinking and taking pictures and giving pounds to us. It has been a hilariously fun afternoon.
Now don't tighten up, Zach. It's okay. There's 600 fans here screaming your name, MVP. Don't tighten up now.
Oh, I'm good. Let's go behind enemy lines here for a Raiders perspective. A guy that I have a whole lot of respect for. It's Jason Fitz of Yahoo Sports Daily. You can hear him on Fox Sports Radio as well, formerly ESPN Radio. Jason, appreciate your time in the Mile High City. I got to ask, and I know you're tapped into the Raiders, man. When they hired Pete Carroll, I said, man, this is going to bring some credibility to an organization that needs it right now badly. It hasn't began to age well. Where is Raider Nation at with Pete Carroll?
Dumbfounded, honestly. The expectation, and look, when I came into the season and, I do a lot of work around the Raiders and people would ask me, hey, what do you think of this team? And I said, look, it's probably a 7-win team, but it's the sort of team that you feel like, yeah, they're taking strides. The surprise to me isn't that they're losing games. It's that they haven't taken strides. And Chip Kelly's the highest paid offensive coordinator in the league at $6 million a year. The offense has been a disaster. The offensive line has been a disaster. Inability to stay committed to the run has been a disaster. Geno Smith is turning the football over has been a disaster. So I think if you look up and down, the thought was that Pete Carroll was going to bring a calming presence and a competitiveness that was going to allow the roster to maybe get a little bit ahead of where it was and try and be in games. Maybe feel a little like you guys felt last year, year one of Sean Payton come in and say, okay, we understand where we're building towards, and you guys certainly far out exceeded those expectations. I think the expectation for the Vegas Raiders was that it would take a step forward, and instead, having watched every second of all of this disaster this year, there's been a lot more bad than good out of it, and I think everybody's a little shell-shocked.
Jason, you had a lot of disasters in there, so that's for Broncos country, we're excited about that. Now, when you're talking about Geno Smith, and he's kind of been up and down, but 11 touchdowns, 11 interceptions. Going into this game, how do you feel that Geno Smith's going to do up against this elite Denver defense?
Yeah, that's the hard part. And, Phillip, I got to be transparent with you, man. I owe you an apology for all the things I yelled at you on my TV when you were beating my beloved Raiders. So I'm getting to talk to you like I'm just being honest, man. I said some things about that. I regret, but, hey, thanks for kicking my butt all those years. But, look, for Geno, it shows on film, and I think you can appreciate this as a former player. In 2 different games this year, on the opening drive, there's been routes jumped by the corners that have resulted in interceptions. So what does that tell us? That tells us that the defense sees things on film that are clear giveaways for what Geno's going to try to do. And I think so you've got a combination of Geno getting hit, holding the ball a little bit too much, the offensive line not playing very well and communicating well, and then just Geno he's showing everybody where he's going to go with the football, and when it gets jumped, it's bad. And now, no Jacoby Myers traded this week. That takes away one of the few sort of bright spots in this offense too. So it'll be interesting to see because Geno is going to lean hard and heavy on Brock Bowers every possible chance. I'm not sure he's comfortable with any of the other receivers.
We're chatting with Jason Fitz of Yahoo Sports Daily. You can also hear him on Fox Sports Radio for years prior to that on ESPN Radio. Jason, on a more positive Raiders note, man, I think you guys have the best tight end in professional football. Brock Bowers looks like, it's too early to, put him in the Hall of Fame, but he seems to be on that track for me for such a historically slow starting position. Brock Bowers, man, where is your fan base at with the young tight end?
Man, Brock is just built different. And, I had the chance with Yahoo to talk to Brock in Vegas when he was out there doing some Super Bowl work before he was drafted. He was doing the interviews like everybody does. And I'll never forget talking to Brock after we were done interviewing, and I was like, yeah, you're in Vegas, you going out for the night or whatever? And he said, no, we've got a jet. I'm going right back to Georgia to train. And I said, you're not even taking a day? And this is obviously before he's even a Raider. And Brock said, man, if I do everything the right way right now, I can come back to Vegas later in life and experience it the way I want to, but I have more important things to worry about today. And that's just always stuck in my head. And I think it speaks to who Brock Bowers is. Like, he's built different. He's hard to defend. The safety isn't going to be able to stop him. You're going to have to bracket him. You're going to have to figure out a lot of different ways to cheat to cover him. And even at that, he still finds crazy ways to get open. So Brock is such a difference maker. I wouldn't be surprised, y'all, if there are 14 or 15 targets tonight to Brock specifically. And through that process, he's still going to eat. Even though this is a great defense, he's still going to be okay in this football game because he's just that good. He is that special. It's one of the most frustrating things for me as a fan is that Brock looks like he could absolutely be a franchise player, and Max Crosby's a future Hall of Famer, and it doesn't matter. You're still losing game after game after game with two transcendent talents on the field.
Jason, now let's turn our attention to Ashton Jeanty. You guys drafted him high in the draft this year, and I know a lot of Raider Nation was excited about the pick. 124 carries, 487 yards, 3 touchdowns, only averaging 3.9 yards per carry. Where are you guys at with Ashton Jeanty, and do you still feel like that was the right decision for the Raiders to do, even though they need a quarterback for the future?
Yeah, I think the hardest part for Ashton, I love the way you asked that question. Ashton, it's just so hard to know who he is because the offensive line for the first 5 weeks was so bad. 4 weeks was so bad. I mean, he was getting hit behind the line of scrimmage at a historic rate. So you just think about what we're asking from Ashton, and I just don't think the offensive line is good enough to create a lot for him. What we have seen in the last 2 weeks, and something to keep an eye out here, is that Chip Kelly's finally started really getting him involved in the passing game. So look for a lot of opportunities to just swing the ball out to Ashton, get him in open territory. When Ashton has the opportunity to find a lane, I think he's done really well. The problem is that's just been so hard, and particularly the left tackle for the Raiders, Colton Miller, is out with injury. We've got a sub-left tackle there, and there's been some real issues between center and guard that are just, they're awful. And so what you're looking at is an offensive line that's had a really hard time communicating, and so what you're seeing is Ashton Jeanty get hit before he even has the ball sometimes. So I think the grade on Ashton is a bit incomplete, but you're right, like, at some point, I think where they got a little twisted is best player available is a great concept, but you don't do any good with best player available if you don't have an offensive line in front of him and you don't have a dynamic player to throw the football to. So, unfortunately, I think the Raiders are going to have to address, I think when we get to this offseason, a quarterback and maybe as many as 4 new offensive linemen are going to be in the future for this Raiders team in one offseason just to try and make the most of Ashton Jeanty.
Jason Fitz of Yahoo Sports Daily, Fox Sports Radio. I listened to him for years prior to that on ESPN Radio. Last one before we let you go, my man. Make the case for the Raiders to upset the Broncos. If they're going to come into a Mile High a week after going into overtime and pull this off, what are the green lights that the Raiders are going to have to catch?
Well, whenever you're talking about Thursday Night Football, you're talking about very limited practice time, very limited installation time, right? So everybody gets down to the core of what they're capable of doing. So the way that the Raiders can sort of get away with something here is it's going to take Bo Nix being the worst of what we've seen from Bo this year. I know a lot of conversation about his accuracy. Bo's going to have to miss some guys. Max is going to have to be a disruptor, which I think he can be. And then they're going to have to find ways to get the ball out quickly out of Geno's hands. I wouldn't be surprised to see a lot of, shotgun, get the ball, release the ball. That's going to be their real path to try and get this done. And then the hope is that if Ashton can get rolling a little bit. See, there's a lot of dominoes that have to stack. These games are always a little bit weird and always a little bit wild on Thursday night and between these two teams particularly. But I think if we were talking about playing this game 9 times out of 10, I think the Broncos win this game 9 times out of 10 by double digits. But on Thursday night, especially with everybody just feeling the heat of having just played a game a few days ago, you're just relying on the impossible here. You're hoping that your offensive line can keep that defense of Denver at bay, which is Man, it's going to be tough. I sound defeated. Haven't even played the game. Come on, what are we doing?
When you started saying disaster, I was like, okay. He said about 10 times.
Oh, my gosh. Jason freaking Fitz, man. I appreciate you so much. Love having you on here today. You absolutely killed it, and look forward to hopefully connecting with you as you stop through Denver here soon.
You know the backbone always answers for you, my friend. I appreciate it. And Phillip, thanks for having me, man. It's great to meet you, brother.
It's great to meet you.
All right, there he goes. Jason Fitz, great stuff. He's awesome at what he does. I've been a fan of his for years. Yahoo Sports Daily, Fox Sports Radio. He was on ESPN Radio for years before that. He had the show First and Last. He had a show with Sarah Spain. So he's really good at what he does, and I love having him on here.
I'll tell you what, man. Are we playing the Bad News Bears?
You know,
that's what it sounds like.
But you know, he just keeps it real. You know, he keeps it real. He is a Raiders fan in real life, but he is not like a pom-pom type of fan.
Yeah.
He looks at the team with sober eyes and clear vision. And
well, if I'm a fan that's gambling and I hear all that, I'm hitting overs on everything.
Well, dude, you want to know what? I'm so glad you just said that because it was a few years ago, and I think it was with Vic Fangio, I want to say. The Broncos were a bad football team. They were going into Dallas, and I've never told this story. They were going into Dallas, and the Broncos were like a 8.5, 9-point underdog, just like the Raiders are. And I went on the air on Sunday before the game on the ticket in Dallas and told the truth about the Broncos the way that Jason Fitz just told the truth about his Raiders.
Yeah.
And Broncos go in there. Not only do they win the game, they dominated the game. And I keep my DMs open. See where this is going?
Oh, yeah.
I keep my DMs open, and I had a Cowboys fan jump in my DMs. I should have screenshot it and tweeted it, but I couldn't because there's so much inflammatory. Oh, my gosh. I heard your effing hit on the ticket in Dallas, and I put so much money on the Cowboys, and you cost me. I remember he called me a squid. He's like, you effing squid. I'm like,
a squid, not a squid.
And so you got to be careful, but he is keeping it real through his perspective. Let's see if it actually plays out that way on the football field here.
You know what this is starting to feel like after listening to Jason and then a couple other things that are happening. Thursday night when we're playing against the Arizona Cardinals 2018, where Vaughn ended up making that bold prediction.
Yep.
And the Arizona Cardinals team wasn't a good team.
No.
And they had a quarterback that wasn't good.
Josh Rosen.
But they also had a defense that was banged up, down and out, and an offensive line that wasn't good either. And we went into Arizona and wrecked shop. I mean, we just put it to them. I think I ended up with almost 90 yards. Royce, my guessing is, almost had 70 yards. I mean, defense was scoring touchdowns.
And I think they were high-fiving going down the field.
Trick plays where you had Emmanuel throwing or Cortland throwing it to Emmanuel, or the other way around. And that could be something that happens today or tonight with the Raiders, where the Raiders are going to go at them hard and try to throw the first punch. But if the Denver defense can be as aggressive as they usually are and get to Geno Smith, and the offense can sustain drives and score a couple touchdowns early, start fast, they're going to finish strong. And this game could get out of hand pretty early if they can just focus. That's the Denver Broncos, that is, can focus and just play football. And it's one snap and clear mentality and just put it on them.
This is KKFN and KKFN HD1 Longmont, Denver. We are coming with it, and we are coming for it. It's Zach Vai and Phillip Lindsay, and we are The Drive. Woo! Thursday Night Football looms. 90 minutes, less than 90 minutes from Raiders Broncos, as we are live from Mile High Station, looking at 500, 600, 700 Denver Bronco fans hanging out, watching people taking shots and slamming beers, and I mean, it's going to be a beautiful.
I might need a crowd surf. Is that what they call where you jump into the crowd and they just pick you up, and my little ass would just be floating all over the place?
They would pass you around like a little stuffed animal.
Let's go!
It should be a fun night. It's a beautiful night to be at the game. and we could reach out and touch and power field from where we're sitting right now in Mile High Station. We'll be here for, call it another 55 minutes or so. Do we have reason to believe that tonight we'll see Bo Nix and the Broncos offense find some consistency, or do the Raiders have a wrinkle that actually bothers Bo? I'm going to give you 2 stats here. We can react to them one at a time. First one, the Raiders have generated the second lowest pressure rate in the NFL this season. Considering this matchup, their front seven against the Broncos offensive line, and the second lowest pressure rate in the league, Bo Nix should, on paper and ideally, have some time to get into a rhythm here early in this football game.
He's definitely going to have some time, because not only are the Raiders a team that just sits back there in zone, they're not getting the pressure with their front four. So when you are playing against the Houston Texans, who have a similar defense to the Raiders, the difference with the Houston Texans is they're bringing pressure. They're bringing heat from the nickel position, safety position. That's not going to be the case with the Raiders unless they do a changeup. It's not going to be the case with the Raiders. So Bo is going to have time to sit in the pocket, set his feet, step into his throws, and try to pick this Raiders defense apart. What he needs to understand, and Bo Nix we're talking about, is don't force the football downfield. They're playing zone. Find the hole in the zone. Take what they give you. All right, if it's a dump down to R.J. Harvey or a dump down to the tight end, that's fine. Get the chunk plays, 5 yards, 7 yards, sustain drives, and build up for the big plays later on.
Well, you beat me to it a little bit because the Raiders do play zone defense 83% of the time. I just saw a grown woman freak out because Phil said hi to her. The Raiders play zone defense 83% of the time. That is the third highest rate in the National Football League.
I think she was just waving at the MVP, though.
Bo Nix has generated 39% success rate versus zone. Guys, that's the 4th worst mark in the entire league. 4 of Bo Nix's 6 picks have come against zone. Man, we've talked about this before and some of his struggles against zone defense, identifying where, that help on the back end is. And it's going to be this is sort of the battle within the battle here tonight.
It really is. But you can just add right there when you talk about the zone defense, Zach, it's really the zone defense with a blitz. That's what's messing Bo Nix up. It's the extra pressure, knowing that they're playing zone, and you have to get that ball out so you're not thinking, or you're trying not to think as hard, and you end up throwing it into double coverage. With the Raiders, they're not going to bring that pressure as often as Houston did.
Yeah.
But I could be wrong. This is the NFL.
Yeah,
this
sure,
is change up. Defensively, it's easier to adjust during a short week than it is offensively, and maybe they have a game plan going in this to beat the Denver Broncos. But for Bo Nix, you got to play clean football. That's it. Use your legs. That's something that you and I have talked about. You have been upset with Bo because it's like, man, it's there. It's open. There's times where you're taking off, but then yet you stop and you try to throw an inaccurate pass. Like, you can't do that. Once you decide to run the damn ball. Get the first down, force the defense to move up in the box, and then you can take shots later on throughout the game. Set it up, Bo. But in order for us to have success and the offense to have success, Bo Nix is going to have to play clean football.
Well, you hit on definitely a theme I'll be watching for tonight. Now I'll sing it one more time. I don't have a good as voice as you do, but
I'm ready for it.
This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine.
Let it shine.
It shine. Let it shine. Let it shine. Bo, you have an incredible skill set in terms of your legs. Do not suppress that light. No one's going to come and slap a label on you in the middle of the game on the back of your jersey that says running quarterback.
Who cares?
It's not a thing. Run the football when you have the space in front of you, all right? And it'll just make this offense more dynamic. He's struggling to pass it at a high level consistently right now. This can bridge the gap. This can bridge the gap in between the point he's at right now and the point he will be this time next year, in 2 years, when he is a higher level of a thrower on a down-to-down basis. So, but until then, don't be afraid to use your legs. I want to see that here tonight.
Yeah, and it's not about the pretty points, and it's not about the stats. It's just about winning a damn football game. Letting all the fans here, there's 700 fans here, there's going to be thousands in that stadium that want to see a Denver Broncos win. How do you do that for Bo Nix? Just go out there and be Bo Nix. don't think a lot. You shouldn't think a lot. There's not a lot to this game plan. It's a short week. All right, that means that you're not putting in a bunch of plays.
Right.
And so it's going to be basic. It's going to be simple. Do the simple things right and build off of that. Lean on your defense. That's going to have a great game because that's all they know how to do. They've been very consistent. And make the plays when they're there. Sean Payton's going to have a few wrinkles here or there. They're going to be schemed up, and you're going to have a receiver wide open, a running back wide open. Hit on them. Execute the plays that Sean calls, and let's have a little fun tonight.
Well, in terms of a pass catcher that I would put my chips on this evening, all right, and already have this morning, is Courtland Sutton, all right? And
you woke up.
Yes.
You took a piss. You didn't brush your teeth, and then
I took us over.
You took us over.
I took us over. Yeah.
That's how you do it.
So when you can go back to last season when we first started having this conversation, typically, now this isn't gospel, okay? This is just me talking, but observing, and it's a hypothesis. A hypothesis is an educated guess. It's not just a guess. It's an educated guess.
You learned something today.
You go back to his game on Thursday Night Football against the Saints, when the Broncos dominated Sean's former team, and he didn't have a single target, let alone a reception. The next game, he responded with a 100-yard game. Go back earlier to this season when we've seen Courtland have one catch for 6 yards against the Colts. What happened the next week? He had 6 catches for 118 yards and a tutty. All right, we are coming earlier this season. We saw Courtland have one catch against the New York Jets for 17 yards. What happened? The next game against the Giants, he had 6 receptions for 87 yards. Last week, now it wasn't as dramatic of a low total, but a week ago against the Houston Texans, Courtland Sutton, 1 reception for 30 yards. It would not shock me if Sutton hauls in 6-7 passes for between 75 and 100 yards.
Well, I'm kind of concerned with this anyway when it comes to your number one receiver and seeing the list and you going over it. And there's been 3 games already where Courtland Sutton has only caught 1 ball.
Correct.
That has to stop. And so for Bo, it's like, hey, I know you don't want to force feed Court, but you have to get your number one receiver involved, especially when you don't have Marvin Mims, who's a playmaker, especially if you don't trust Pat Bryant or Troy Franklin at times. You got to get your number one receiver involved, and then it will open the gates for everybody else to do their thing. So I'm like you, Zach. There's a trend here, and I'm looking for Bo Nix to at least get Courtland going, maybe 5 or 6 targets, and go from there.
Yeah, that should be the floor for targets tonight. 5-6 to your number one wide receiver. In terms of running back carries and running back distribution, what is your expectation tonight for the starter, J.K. Dobbins?
This is the J.K. Dobbins show. Now, yes, J.K. got 15 carries against Houston, but it was very far in between. It would be like 4 carries in the first half, and then it was maybe another 4 in the third quarter, and then so on. So for J.K., I'm expecting Sean to get him going early. All right, you have the first 15, the scripted first 15. I would not be surprised if the first 3 plays, as long as the first 2 are solid yards, have solid yards on them, is running the ball 3 times in a row, trying to implement to the fan base, implement to his offense that, hey, we're going to implement the run throughout the time. We're gonna be aggressive. We're gonna get our running backs going, and we're gonna force this defense to have to come up and add a guy in the box so we can take shots downfield, so we can open up the play action and maybe get Evan Ingram involved a little bit more. So I'm expecting to see a heavy dose of J.K. Dobbins early and a heavy dose of J.K. Dobbins at the end of the game in 4 minutes when we're trying to finish this game off.
Well, I would like Dobbins is to the point where if that guy's healthy, which he has been so far this year.
Yeah, knock on wood.
Knock on wood, there's no doubt. If he's getting the football 15, 17 times, you're going to see the guy produce at a high level.
Yeah.
Because we haven't seen anything but that. If the opportunities come, J.K. has been knocking them out of the park. So I hope you're right. And then in terms of another pass catcher that we've sort of been waiting on patiently, can this guy figure it out? Evan Ingram. We have yet to have like an Evan Ingram game.
It's like a takeover.
Yeah, and like we've seen like the Troy Franklin game.
Yeah.
We've seen the R.J. Harvey game. Of course, we've seen the Cortland Sutton games. But considering the hype around Evan Ingram,
what would an Evan Ingram dominant game look like? That's the thing. Like I'm trying to figure out right now. Like he has enough speed, but he's not that explosive tight end that you feel like can take it the distance. So what does that look like?
But that's crazy because we were in the summer and we're kind of thinking and hoping that that's what he would be.
Yeah, and if you stretch the football field a little bit more than what maybe I'm giving him credit for, but we just haven't seen it yet.
You know what? I go back to the preseason game when I was at against the Arizona Cardinals.
Yeah.
And when he caught that ball in the first series, it was like the second play of the game, and he takes it the distance. I saw a level of athlete at that position that hasn't been around here in a while, but I haven't seen him have an opportunity to open up that athleticism in the open field or downfield since they started playing these games back on September 7th. So to answer your question, what would be my interpretation of an Evan Ingram takeover game? It would start with I'd say a season high 6 receptions for 69 yards and a touchdown.
Right.
I'm not trying to be unreasonable here, and I think that if you look at the Raiders defensively and how they play. What's up, boys?
MVP.
Oh my gosh! God Almighty! If you look at the Raiders, the way that they play defense, they play the zone defense 83% of the time, and that may lend itself for someone like Evan Ingram in the middle of the field. Find some of these soft spots of zone coverage.
Now you're talking my language.
Sit down, hook it up, get it, and get upfield. And get vertical. I'd like to see more of Evan Ingram here tonight.
More of Evan Ingram, less of Bo Nix, though, throwing it 50 times a game, right? Or 50 times in a game. I don't want to see that. I want to see it being calculated, where it's a setup, where when he does throw the ball, Bo Nix we're talking about, it's for positive yards. It's for explosive plays. So set your pass up with your run. Set your pass up with Evan Ingram, maybe coming across the field or sitting down in the holes that you're talking about with the zone. And let's see what he can do. You're paying him a lot of money, so he might as well go out there and have a game plan for him. And I'm expecting that from Sean. Sean will be a guy on prime time, Thursday night, in the red zone, which he has done multiple times for the tight ends, coming up with a creative way to give Evan Ingram an opportunity to score at home.
Here is Sean Payton earlier this week on the confidence that they can unlock more from Ingram.
Yeah, I think it happens sometimes. There'll be a game where it's hard to predict where the ball goes sometimes. In sometimes the coverage dictates it. So we'll keep looking for those touches and last week was a big quarters team, but we didn't get much quarters. And so what went from a big interior game became a more exterior game with as much single safety as they played. So he's doing good. He's doing really good.
All right, so we'll see if this game that unfolds organically in front of Sean Payton lends itself to feature Ingram just a little bit more. Dan Orlovsky came on the morning show, and I think that well, first of all, I think it's so cool that Dan Orlovsky gets off the set of ESPN and comes right on
listening to Dan, man.
The Fan. You have Joel Klatt, #1 for Fox, coming on the Fan, it's great. Super Bowl 50 champion Brandon Marshall joining us, and we just have a great.
We're spoiled.
We are. We really are. But this was Dan Orlovsky earlier in the week with the morning show on why he believes Evan Ingram has underwhelmed so far in Denver.
So for me, this was always the interesting addition, not in a negative way, but the joker role for Sean traditionally has always been a guy that you can put out by himself and win, to gather information, create matchups, but also to win. It's the Jimmy Graham. That's not necessarily who Evan's been. Ever since Evan really started to take off in his career, he's been more of a get the ball into his hands, yards after the catch. So there was a little bit for me disconnect of usage. And I still think that they're trying to figure that out, because if we're talking about people we want to put the ball into their hands, not necessarily down the field, obviously Mims is in there, JK's in there, Harvey's in there. So at some point, are we really doing the right thing for the offense? And so I think Evan is a really talented player that you just want to get the ball to, rather than quote unquote joker, win by yourself.
really interesting insight there from Dan Orlovsky. It's like, man, I've always had a disconnect with Sean calling him the Joker, because the Joker is someone who can win consistently. That's not Ingram. Ingram's more of, let's get the ball in his hands and then see what he can do with it, which I also find interesting because we talked to Kenny Dillingham, a friend of the show, a coach at Arizona State, who was Bo Nix's offensive coordinator, who says Sean Payton's offense is a ball-in-hand offense, but for whatever reason, with all the hype that came from Sean and this Joker thing, it just hasn't come into focus yet.
And this is where it's like, and it's a little birdie I heard told me this, and then inside the building.
Okay.
And it's when it comes down to maybe Sean is trying to force this on Evan Ingram because there really wasn't a Joker out there to be had. Maybe he saw someone like Evan Ingram saying he's the most athletic tight end that's going to be available. And for someone like George Payton, who was forced to go out there and find this Joker, and I know for a fact that once he was able to get pen to paper for Evan, he was relieved. That he was like, finally, Sean. This is what I heard George said. Finally, Sean has his damn Joker. So what it looked like to me is like they reached maybe a little bit for Evan Ingram because they couldn't find this Joker, and George was just trying to get something done, and Sean manifested like maybe Evan Ingram could be this guy. And right now it doesn't look like he's the Joker that Sean really wants, which needs to change because he is here. You paid him a lot of money, so utilize him. Utilize him to his strengths. Get him going. We need him to go. It's going to help Bo Nix out. It's going to help Bo Nix with just developing him.
Sure.
And it's going to help the team just win these games because you win games when you have a run game and a tight end. That's a fact. Every playoff team has a tight end and a run game. Every team that has went to the Super Bowl has some type of tight end and a run game.
Well, we'll see the next chapter for Ingram. I will, I don't know if it's going out on a limb, but I will predict that Evan Ingram has his best game as a Denver Bronco tonight. In prime time.
Let's go.
He's due for it. So I like Evan Ingram here tonight on Thursday Night Football. And I also want to see more of the Pat Bryant ascension.
That's your boy now.
I love me some Pat Bryant.
So, okay. You want to see more.
Yep.
More of what when it comes to Pat Bryant? What do you want to see tonight?
Well, I can't want to see more of him doing the blue-collar stuff because he does it left and right. I mean, Pat Bryant, you talk about earning an opportunity organically. He's got the draft status, yes. But, I mean, you look at a guy who has played football through 9 weeks, like he's still trying to make the team.
Yeah.
I mean, he does all the right stuff. I mean, he's had spring blocks and blocking downfield and, just the best kind of work. But now he's starting to get the targets. And I asked you yesterday, I said, can you remember a time, this kid's a rookie, can you remember a time where he has been unreliable or let the team down or had some sort of drop?
No.
I can't remember a single time. He had 2 targets last week. They were both on third down. He hauled in both of them. So do you want to see him more on third downs with the slants, or do you want to see him more downfield with maybe a bigger catch like he did against the Dallas Cowboys where he ended up with his first career touchdown? Yeah, like obviously if that happens, I mean, that'd be great. I'll be there celebrating it. But I think the more consistent thing to be looking for is more of the slants.
Yeah.
Right? And more like the intermediate game. The Broncos have room to grow in that department. Feels like all too often it's going downfield, taking a shot, or, throwing it at the line of scrimmage.
Yeah.
There's room right there in that mid-range jump shot area that Pat Bryant can thrive. So I think he can be like your third down guy, like him and Sutton. Like I think that's the future here over the next 2 to 3 years. And so 60 of his 106 yards this season have come in the last 2 weeks. I just want to see more. I'm not telling you he's prime Michael Thomas or he's God's gift to the position, but I think I'll continue to say what I said after studying him after the draft. The dude has one of the highest floors for a rookie Bronco that I have seen in years. I think he's going to be around here for a very long time, and I just want to see him get more opportunities. I'm not getting carried away. I'm talking about maybe a season high of, 5 targets, tonight.
That's fair. Like, he's earned the right to get more targets coming his way, and he needs to take advantage of them. The guy I'm looking for is Troy Franklin. It's time for you to continue to be consistent. We need a consistent number 2 receiver to go with Courtland Sutton, a guy that can stretch the field. That's Troy Franklin. He had one of the biggest catches of his career was that two-point conversion catch that helped beat the Houston Texans. I want to see him build off of this, and because Sean decided not to go for a receiver before the trade deadline and he's sticking with his guys, okay, now everybody needs to step up. Prove to me specifically why, Sean, you didn't go out there and acquire another receiver that could be a receiver number 2 right now. Troy Franklin, go out there, shut me up, have a day tonight. Go out there, maybe catch 4 or 5 balls, an explosive play. Let's see if you can get a touchdown. But I need to see you be consistent, so that we can have confidence moving forward that this crew is the crew that can win a Super Bowl.
All right, and have we seen anything about Michael Bandy?
I was getting ready to ask you the same thing. We haven't seen anything yet.
I don't.
Okay.
Wait, Dante, he did get elevated? Okay, cool.
So Bandy's elevated.
Bandy, get the music ready. I believe somehow, some way, there's going to be a minor miracle tonight at Mile High.
Don't you dare.
And Michael Bandy's catching a touchdown.
Oh, don't you dare.
Get the bands ready. Get the band ready.
Man,
okay? Get the
band's
band.
Gonna make
get
it
the
dance.
Get the band ready. Get the bands ready. Michael Bandy tonight, 10 toes down in the end zone.
Band's
somehow,
gonna make him clap.
All right.
I'll say this though before we go, man. With Michael Bandy as a punt returner tonight, and it's something that was brought to my attention by our guy Joey behind the scenes.
Yeah.
It's been windy out there, right, Zach?
Yeah.
When you're catching punts, it's hard to catch a punt in the wind. Just a little bit of wind
Sure.
can mess a ball up. So now you have Bandy, who's your backup punt returner that has already muffed the ball. He's back there. If he muffs another one, my man might not be on the team making the bands make people dance, but also he could hurt the Denver Broncos if he doesn't catch these punts. So that's something to keep your eye on when you're dealing with punt returns. It's going to be windy out there.
Don't worry about Bandy.
Okay.
Everything is under control. All right. There could be a real factor in tonight's game that is flying a bit under the radar, and we'll tell you what it is coming up next.
The Rockies are making moves. Per multiple reports, Colorado is hiring Cleveland Browns executive Paul DePodesta as their new president of baseball operations. Does the analytic expert have the right tools to bring winning baseball back to Coors Field? Denver Sports 104.3. The Fan.
Dan owed an unbelievable amount of money to the IRS.
I got behind on my taxes. It's a horrible feeling.
He was in denial.
And when I got those letters from the IRS, you wanted to act like they didn't exist.
Finally, Dan turned to Optima Tax Relief, the leading tax resolution firm. A-plus rated by the Better Business Bureau, they've resolved over $1 billion for their clients.
Optima got me a settlement with the IRS. These people are really people-friendly. It was every bit of a new lease on life for me.
The fast action and the great results made Dan's head spin.
I felt like I was in a dream, but it's real, and I have paperwork to prove it. They got the job done, and life is good.
For tax help you can trust, call Optima now for a free consultation.
If you're worried about what's going to happen with the IRS, stop worrying. Make the call now.
Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief.
Testimonial from an actual client. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
At 303 Law 4040, we know getting into an accident stinks, and so does getting worked over by the insurance company or even your slick-talking made-for-TV lawyer. So if we can help, just give us a call. 303 Law 4040. Save that number in your phone. You never know when you're going to need it. That's 303 Law 4040.
More than a few of our patients have talked to me about their first time, but it's not the first time you're probably thinking about. It's the first time that erectile dysfunction ruined the moment. This is Jeff for the Rocky Mountain Men's Clinic, and if you're over 50, it's likely you've had that first time yourself. But the good news is that if you're like most men, that first time can be the last time that ED impacts your sex life. At the Rocky Mountain Men's Clinic, we're experts in treating ED. We've treated tens of thousands of men using protocols with success rates well over 90%. And those treatments have, in most cases, made sex great again for both them and their partners. You could even find that you're performing like you haven't in years. So if ED has been affecting your intimacy, it's time to make the last time that happens, the last time that happens. For just $99, you'll receive blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. Call 720-440-7900 or go to RockyMountainMen'sClinic.com. We have 5 offices across the Front Range to serve you.
Peyton Manning here. Throughout my football career, staying healthy was a big priority, but bumps, bruises, and injuries were part of the game. And for me, it's not just the clinical excellence and expertise that sets a medical team apart. It's also the compassion, kindness, and empathy they show. At Common Spirit Health, healing is quality care and human kindness. And my friends at Common Spirit are teaming up with their partners to spread human kindness and create healthy communities. Common Spirit Health. Hello, human kindness.
Black Friday is going on now at every AutoNation store. Hurry in and save for a limited time. Buy with 0 down. Plus, make no payments till next year. Shop new and used cars, trucks, SUVs, even top luxury models. Drive with 0 down. Plus, no payments till next year. Save your cash for the holidays. Go to your nearest AutoNation store now. Limited term financing on approved credit. 90-day deferred payment. Interest accrues from date of purchase. See store for details.
Imagine finding your dream home and moving in right away. No waiting to sell your old place first. Sounds perfect, right? That's exactly what Orchard's Move First, Sell Later program lets you do. Buy your new home now and sell the old one later. Here's how it works. Orchard gives you cash so you can buy and move into your new home first, on your timeline. No waiting, no showings, no double moves. Then the Orchard experts take it from there. They handle repairs on your old home for you so you attract the right buyers. Once they're done, a local Orchard agent lists and sells your home for top dollar. Orchard's Move First program gives you the freedom to buy and move into your new home first and sell your old home later. Buy before you sell and get top dollar for your home with Orchard. Ready to find out how much your home is worth? Visit Orchard.com to get your free home valuation. That's Orchard.com.
If you don't think doing a quick and free check of your finances is worth it, let me share this recent customer story. Jason and Barbara H. from Denver called us wanting to see if they could save money. Credit was okay and there was a good amount of debts. Their fear was another lender they went to first, shame on them, told them yes in the beginning and then denied them during the process. When they called us, we not only approved the loan, we saved them $3,900 a month.
What? $3,900 a month?
Yes, this couple just saved $3,900 a month by calling U.S. Mortgages. And best of all, with our lowest rate for life guarantee, if the market improves in the future, even as little as 0.5%, they can redo the loan and increase their savings further without any lender or appraisal fee. You could be our next success story. Call 303-LOW-RATE. That's 303-LOW-RATE or online at usmloan.com.
All loans subject to approval and change. License number 392126.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game and the go-to spot for football season with wall-to-wall TVs, hearty eats, ice-cold drinks, and of course, those scenic views. It's a full-on experience whether you're catching college or pro games this season. Twin Peaks. Eats, drinks, scenic views.
You could save thousands of dollars on the products your business uses the most with the Home Depot's new Pro Extra Preferred Pricing. Registering is free and easy. Just have your tax ID or business or contractor's license ready. But don't wait. The current preferred pricing benefit will end on November 15th. Visit your local Pro Desk to register now and unlock the deepest savings on the products you choose.
This segment on 104.3 The Fan's brought to you by Williams Jewelers, the official jeweler of the Colorado Avalanche.
Live from Mile High Station, it's the Fan Football Pregame Show on Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan. Presented by Modelo. Previewing today's matchup, here's The Drive with Zach By and Phillip Lindsay.
All right, bottom half of hour number 4 here on a Thursday. But this is no ordinary Thursday. It's Thursday Night Football. It's Broncos Raiders, and there could be a factor tonight. Could be. I'm not, projecting this or predicting this because I hope it's not a factor at all. But to act like it couldn't be would also be naive. What the heck am I talking about?
Yeah, what are you talking about, Mr. Bai?
I'm talking about a name that you may not know, but you could recognize his face. Head official Bill Vinovich and his crew are on the game tonight. All right. Again, if I showed you a picture of him, and you may just know his name, he's been around the NFL for a long time.
He's one of the highest graded officials. I think he's done like 3 of the last 4 Super Bowls. But for whatever reason, when he has intersected with either the Broncos or even Sean Payton, the history of it is pretty unkind. The Broncos are 5-11 in games officiated by Bill Vinovich. He and his crew were also responsible for one of the worst missed calls in NFL history. Football fans remember the no call on the pass interference in the 2018 NFC Championship game between Sean Payton's Saints and the Los Angeles Rams. Had that penalty been called, which the league admitted almost immediately that it should have been called, again, it's one of the biggest no calls in the history of the sport.
Yeah.
New Orleans would have had a 1st and goal at the 6-yard line with the Rams left with just 1 timeout. The Saints could have drained all but approximately 15 seconds from the clock before kicking a game-winning field goal. It would have been Will Lutz. Instead, the field goal happened on the next play, and the Rams had plenty of time to mount a game-tying drive to force OT, and they won it after a Drew Brees interception. So Sean Payton's got to have nightmares about Bill Vinovich and his crew.
Bill. I remember old Bill. I had a couple words for him. He looked at me like, hey, I'm the vet here. But you're going to have to watch old Bill because, one, he's a hard butt. Like whenever he decides he wants to call some flags, he's going to call some flags. But also, he's going to let things go as well, as you just got done talking about. So maybe somebody needs to find out who Bill's bookie is because he's messing up stuff for Sean Payton. Yeah, something against Sean.
Well,
but overall, for this officiating crew, if the Denver Broncos just plays clean football, fundamentally sound and disciplined football, then you leave the refs out of it. You don't give the refs an opportunity to dictate this game.
Well, it was also Bill Vinovich and his crew that were officiating arguably the most crushing defeat in the history of the Denver Broncos. That divisional round loss to the Ravens back in 2013, a game that featured a number of controversial calls. And I remember Tony Dungy even tweeting during the game, like, man, some of these calls are insane. That was Bill Vinovich and his crew. And when games are in Denver, the Broncos are 1 win, 6 losses when Bill Vinovich's crew officiates the game. But here's the problem. Broncos, they get in their own way without Bill Vinovich.
They do.
This is a team that has totaled 90 flags thrown on them total.
That's insane.
In 9 games. Guys, they are averaging 10 flags a game. Now, not all those get accepted, all right? Not all those get accepted, but that's just that doesn't change the fact that you're getting 10 flags a game thrown on you. That's the second highest mark in the National Football League. And also, 658 yards and penalties for the Denver Broncos. That is the number 1 mark in the worst kind of way in pro football.
Zach, we get in our own way. I mean, the Denver Broncos, get in their own way. And at some point, it's going to turn around and bite them in the butt. And it may not be against the Raiders because the Raiders are not a very good team. They're 2-6. But it's going to come when we're playing the Kansas City Chiefs. And everybody, Broncos country, is going to be crying about how the referees are trying to cheat us with the Chiefs. And it's like, no, we're averaging 10 penalties a game because we're an undisciplined football team. So if we're going to beat better teams like the Chiefs, like Green Bay when we play them, then we got to have to play better football all around, more fundamentally sound and disciplined football. That's simple as that. And it's also something that you're going to be nervous about when going into the playoffs with a team like the Broncos that are good, but they get in their own way with penalties, and penalties will get you beat.
All right, if you guys want to react to any of these conversations, you can hit us up on the RamosLaw.com text line, 303-713-1043. We'll get to our bold prediction for the game and our game prediction here in just a second. But first, I got to tell you, the fan flyaway is back thanks to 303-LAW 4040. This time we're sending one lucky listener and a guest to Phoenix in February for the biggest party in golf. I mean, this is an incredible prize. You'd get 2 tickets to Saturday's. Thank you, sir. Appreciate you, brother. You would get 2 tickets to Saturday's round at TPC Scottsdale. Round trip airfare for 2 from Denver 2 nights hotel stay, and $500. For more information and to register, head to thefanflyaway.com. If you entered one of our previous flyaway contests, you're already registered for this one. Once you sign up for one flyaway, you're entered for all future flyaways. All right, one segment left from Mile High Station ahead of Thursday Night Football between Broncos and Raiders. It is time to make our bold prediction for the offense, bold prediction for the defense, and can the Denver Broncos continue the league's longest win streak? We'll give those predictions coming up next.
Can Bo Nix escape Mad Max Crosby? How should Vance Joseph defend against Brock Bowers? Zach By and Phillip Lindsay will break it all down in a special Thursday night edition of the Fan Football Pregame Show, live on game day from Mile High Station. Presented by Modelo. Denver Sports 104.3. The Fan.
The temperatures are dropping. The game day energy is heating up. Broncos country. You can feel the crunch of the leaves under your shoes, the chill of that air, and the sound of the crowd echoing through the Mile High City. Football season is in full swing, baby. So whether you're bundling up to cheer on the Broncos at Empower Field or heading up to Boulder to cheer on Coach Prime and the Buffs, make sure you get there on time and also in style. Leave the traffic and icy parking lots to someone else. Hermes Worldwide has you covered with their luxury rides that will keep you warm, comfortable, and stress-free all the way to kickoff. Hermes Worldwide also offers championship-level transportation. Close your eyes and picture this. You and your crew rolling up to the stadium in a sleek, heated vehicle, no parking hassles, no driving worries, just a professional driver ready to get you to and from the game safely. All I need you to do is give them a call today at 303-577-7600 or visit ridehermes.com/DenverSports. Again, give them a call at 303-577-7600 or visit ridehermes.com/DenverSports to book your next ride today.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game and the go-to spot for football season with wall-to-wall TVs, hearty eats, ice-cold drinks, and of course, those scenic views. It's a full-on experience whether you're catching college or pro games this season. Twin Peaks. Eats, drinks, scenic views.
Hey guys, Mark Schlereth here for my friends at Cutarelli Vision. I wore glasses for a long time, but when I started needing reading glasses to see menus, text, read stats, to see my computer, I decided to go to Dr. Cutarelli at Cutarelli Vision for refractive lens exchange. It was a game changer for me, and it could be for you too. Join Dr. Cutarelli for his live webinar November 12th at noon to learn about refractive lens exchange from Cutarelli Vision. This free webinar is the perfect opportunity to meet Dr. Cutarelli and have him answer all your questions about RLE, like what is refractive lens exchange? How is it different from LASIK or EVO ICL? Why can't you develop a cataract after RLE? Cutarelli Vision is Colorado's most experienced with over 90,000 vision correction procedures. He can tell you when it's your right time for RLE, like he did me. So register for the webinar at coloradorle.com. It's November 12th at noon. coloradorle.com.
Comcast Business can help turn your small business into a connected, secure, modern business. It's how restaurants become reliably up and running neighborhood favorites. How healthcare offices become the data-protecting caregivers that we all depend on. And how wealth management firms become cyber-securing guardians of your information. With reliable connectivity, enhanced cybersecurity, and Wi-Fi backup, your business can stay connected and get threat-ready with Comcast Business. Powering possibilities.
Now through November 16th, new Comcast Business customers can get started with 150 megabit internet plus security for $59.99 a month for 12 months with a 2-year agreement. Plus, ask how to get a $500 prepaid card on a qualifying gig package. Call today. Restrictions apply. Requires enrollment in paperless billing and auto pay with bank account. Early termination fee applies. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Coonahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I
I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have leaf filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/deal to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
To get this special radio offer, go to leaffilter.com/deal for your free gutter inspection today and get up to 30% off. That's leaffilter.com/deal for up to 30% off. leaffilter.com/deal. See representative for warranty details.
Brandon Stokely here from my team, ROX, Rocks Heating and Air. Are you ready for winter? Worries you might need a new furnace? Don't know where to begin? Rocks Heating and Air makes it incredibly easy with their new, free, no obligation online heating and cooling quote. It takes less than 5 minutes and gives you options instantly. No calls, no waiting, and transparent pricing. Only at ROX, Rocks Heating and Air. Now play that jingle.
HVAC service, installation, repair. ROX, Rocks Heating and Air.
This is Rob Wilhite of the Wilhite Law Firm. If you've been injured in an accident, you want Wilhite. Colorado drivers know that when they're hit, we hit back harder. Get your free case review right now. Just call 303-GOOD-LAW today or visit wilhitewins.com and win big with Wilhite.
Stay up to date on the Broncos with our 9 News Broncos insider Mike Kliss. Presented by Fitness Gallery. Hear the latest from every practice and every game every single week during football season. Denver Sports 104.3. The Fan. Live from Mile High Station, it's the Fan Football Pregame Show on Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan. Presented by Modelo. Previewing today's matchup, here's The Drive with Zach By and Phillip Lindsay.
All right, final segment here on a Thursday Night Football, just a few minutes away from kickoff. On a nice night, but a windy night here, right around the Mile High, area. And
get the news on 39 and cloudy, Zach.
Yeah, and it'll get pretty chilly throughout the evening. And so
MVP.
Feeling the love from the Mile High Station fans. It's been a really, really fun day.
I can't wait
here
for the parades, right?
Oh my gosh, too funny, man. Our listeners are the best. I mean,
they are
the best. And so
we can't do this without them, man.
No. We love it, man. We love it so much. All right, so a few minutes from kickoff. Before we give our game predictions here, let's talk about maybe one prediction for the offense, one prediction for the defense. And even before we do that, what concerns you the most tonight? If you were going to try to identify a concern that has you feeling a little bit uneasy, what would it be?
Offense. Still the offense, because we know that fourth quarter comes around, the offense is going to do well. They're going to wake up for some odd reason. I don't know why. It's fun, but I don't want to do it anymore. Can this offense sustain drives? Even against a bad Raiders team, can they sustain drives, give the defense a break, and have a breakthrough where we can consistently just be the same version of ourselves moving forward? Can Bo Nix have a game, Zach? I'm tired of coming in here asking the same question. Do you think that Bo Nix is a franchise quarterback now? If he would have just handled his business early, made the passes that are open, I don't think we would even be having this conversation. But because he's so hit or miss and not as consistent as we want him to be, can he be the same version of himself, which is really, really good, if he decides to wake up and do that? So I'm concerned on, can the offense put something together early so that we don't have to make this a game?
Yeah, that would be huge, man. If they can just come out and kick the door down to a game and really deflate the spirit of a team that's 2-6.
Yeah.
Like, they know they're not going anywhere, but they're still fighting for their team and for each other and for Pete Carroll. Can you
for their jobs.
And for their job, there's no doubt. That probably comes first, right? But if you can plant that seed of doubt, early in this football game, they're used to losing.
Yeah.
So they can just, settle into their natural habitat of losing.
this is a team that hasn't won a divisional game since the end of the 2023 season. They lost every divisional game a year ago. They've already lost every divisional game this season. Don't let them come in here on a short week, no less. On a short week, appreciate you, man. On a short week, no less, come in here after playing in overtime against Jacksonville. It just can't happen.
Yeah, and rain on our parade. Like, we have a chance to go a 7-game win streak, go 8-2.
Yeah.
Like, don't let the Raiders, who are usually it's a rivalry game, but it hasn't been like that. Don't let them come into your own house and take your stuff. Like, no. Like, handle business, whoop that ass, and go on and have a 3 or 4 day weekend to get ready for the Chiefs.
Yeah. All right. Hopefully the mindset is right. Hopefully the level of intensity and focus is where it should have been throughout the week. And if they check those boxes, Phil, the Broncos should win this game. And they could.
Yeah.
They could win it going away. I mean, this is the biggest favorite in professional football this week. So we'll see if they can follow through on those expectations from the odds makers. All right. If you were going to make one prediction for the Denver Broncos defense, it could be a player, it could be a sack total, it could be anything. Where would you like to go?
My prediction is, one, we know how dominant this defense is going to be. But there's a guy who's been kind of slowly being implemented back into the defense, and that's Dre Greenlaw. I think we see the best out of Dre Greenlaw tonight when it comes to tackles. I can see Dre Greenlaw having about 9 tackles, which is a lot. 9 tackles and an interception.
And a pick from Dre Greenlaw?
Yes, because Geno Smith, he's not going to throw it deep. So for Geno Smith, he's going to dink and dunk down the field. If Dre Greenlaw plays his cards right, and Geno Smith has 11 interceptions already this year, Dre Greenlaw can fall into an interception on a Thursday night game. He's done it before. He knows how to make plays when the lights are the brightest. Give me Dre Greenlaw, 9 tackles, 1 interception.
Ow! All right, I'll go a different direction. Now, I'll do the positive prediction here in a second. I do have a feeling that Brock Bowers is going to expose the lack of PS2 factor. I do. I just think he's too good.
Yeah.
And there's not anyone on this roster that profiles of matching up with this just freakazoid of a tight end. I mean, he's coming off a game where he went for 127 yards and 3 touchdowns. They're going to target him a ton, especially after the departure of Jacoby Myers. There's a target share that's going to be gobbled up by someone. I'm sure it's going to be Brock Bowers here tonight. We talked with Jason Fitz earlier from Yahoo Sports Daily and Fox Sports Radio. He follows the Raiders very closely. He says Brock Bowers could see 15 targets tonight. Doesn't sound crazy. He's that good. So I do think that will reveal itself over the course of the game. To a detrimental degree, no, I don't think so. But I think it will be a factor. But I will go with a guy who I think you predicted to have an interception a week ago. I predicted to have an interception, I think, 2 or 3 weeks ago, but he hasn't had one yet. And he's been in position to make a play on the ball. Tonight he's going to get his opportunity from Geno Smith. White Boy Rick.
White Boy Rick.
Riley Moss turns into Riley Boss and shape shifts into Riley Sauce in primetime Thursday Night Football. I think he picks off Geno Smith in a pass intended for Trey Tucker. He makes a play on the ball and instills the confidence that some people need to hear. I think Riley Moss has been pretty good.
He has been really good.
Some people think he's terrible at football. I think those people don't know what they're talking about. Talking to you, Will Pearson. So I think he makes a play on the ball. Offensively, give me a prediction for the evening.
Yeah, offensively, like I said earlier, I'm concerned with them. I want to see them going. They have the tools to get going. Now, will they? So my prediction is that your boy, I'm taking yours, Pat Bryant.
Ooh.
He's going to have himself a day tonight. I think that for Sean's all about rewarding the guys that deserve to be rewarded and the guys that he believes in. Sean drafted Pat Bryant in the 3rd round when nobody else thought of Pat Bryant. Sean Payton was thinking of him. Or maybe it was George. Who knows? Now I think it's like, hey, we can count on you a little bit more than maybe we thought earlier. Let's get you going. Let's get you more involved in the game plan on 3rd downs. I can see Pat Bryant not only catching 4 or 5 targets tonight, but also another touchdown in the red zone.
I absolutely love it. Let's make some predictions here. I'll go first. I think this is going to be a closer game than a lot of people expect. I hope I'm wrong about that. But it will take all 4 quarters to put the Raiders away. But at the very end of the day, I have the Denver Broncos extending the longest home win streak in the NFL, the longest win streak period in the NFL, and they find a way to get it done 28-23.
Okay, so you're making it closer than it needs to be. See, I'm on the other side of this. The Denver Broncos get their act together. Offense does their part. Defense continues to do their job. Special teams is going to have a play today where they block a punt. All right? Remember what I just said. They're blocking a punt. It's one of these weird nights. It's Thursday night. And the Denver Broncos, all right, hit the over. The Denver Broncos win 27-10.
One final prediction on the way out. Michael Bandy finds a way to get 10 toes down in the end zone tonight.
But damn, you trying to up what? What is it?
One up. There
you trying to
go.
one up me
there
with
the
Bandy.
That's right. I'm just telling you, I've been to the future. Dante, where are we going after this, my friend? We step aside so long from Mile High Station. It's ESPN Radio, and we'll be back later with the fan football postgame after hopefully a Broncos win. Good night, everyone.
The Fan Flyaway is back. Presented by 303 Law 4040. Save that number in your phone. You never know when you're going to need it. To kick off 2026, Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan is sending you to Phoenix for the biggest party in golf. Airfare, hotel tickets, and $500 in spending money all included. Head to thefanflyaway.com to register. That's thefanflyaway.com. Denver